Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another stream. I do feel like I've kind of lied already, though, because I've said this one is where Joe comes back, but he's not here yet. It could be a surprise. He's going to come back. He'll be back. He'll appear. But in the meantime, I do have one of my bestest buds around with me. He's going to be here to keep us all entertained and remind us why the Welsh are better than the English. It's Cut the Craggle.
Oh, wow. Did that hurt saying that last bit? It's like I could feel like, I don't know, the veins in your face popping as you said it.
Yeah, there was a little bit in the back of my head going, don't do it. Don't do it.
I probably should just go back to my regular profile pic, but when I'm on someone else's stream, I kind of like having the Welsh flag up, you know?
It's fine. I don't mind you having the Welsh flag. You know, like I said, there's a little bit of Wales in me.
Well, you know, you can be a bit more if you pay your cards right tonight.
Do you know what, mate? I'm there. I'm there. So, shall we see who we got in the chat first with us today? We've got Jacob. Hello, Jacob. We have Lady Samby. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Sure, I've just seen you downstairs, though. Could be mistaken. We have Mrs. Craggle. And we have Cut the Craggle, although he looks different to you.
Yes, I think it's an imposter.
It must be one of those chatbot thingies, mate.
Oh, yeah. I realize you haven't got your warning down the bottom, by the way, in case you want to put that up before we get too chaotic.
Yeah, it starts we mean to go on.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. Yes. It's been a mad day. Even though all today has been doing has been snowing, and I've not done a lot. It's been nuts.
Yeah.
Feel it's been one of those weird days.
Yeah. Yesterday was actually surprisingly productive for me. And then today I intended to, carry on that momentum even. And it just didn't happen. For one, I ended up waking up 3 hours after I went to bed and came back downstairs. But now I was like, okay, well, I'm going to work on some stuff for YouTube because I didn't do any content last week.
Yeah.
And I did some, work on it, went back to bed, and then woke up and it was like 12 noon. And I was like, oh, crap. Okay, well, that's the morning gone. And I just haven't been able to sort of get my arse in gear all day. Don't help that I'm still very unwell. I just feel so ill right now. It's unbelievable. And then when it's cold, like we had no snow today in Wales, but it's cold. Like we have had the heating on. I've been going around like wearing like long-legged trousers in the house when normally I wear shorts in the house. Yeah. I've got socks on as well in the house.
Whoa!
I know they are slipper socks. They're like those comfy ones,
Oh, yeah.
So, but honestly, it's just I just can't get warm. It's crazy. I just maybe it's because I'm ill as well. I think when you're ill, you feel it 10 times worse.
Yeah, I think
when you're feeling that way, you don't want to do anything. So I think it was around about 3-ish or 4-ish. I said to you, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to go on Xbox and kill zombies. And I think you said something similar, didn't you?
Yeah, I said I was going to go on Xbox and kill, random cowboys and whatever. It took me an hour and a half to get the Xbox updated, but yeah, I got that.
Ouch, yeah.
That's what happens when you don't turn it on.
Yeah, I remember that. We haven't had that so far with the new Xbox because we've got the Xbox Series X now.
Yeah.
And you know what I love about it? One thing is they do quick resume. So if you back out to Xbox Home from the game you're playing, and then you turn the console off, I don't know if it does it with every game, but it's done it with both Red Dead Redemption and Dead Rising 4, which I've played on it so far. When you turn the console on and, select the game again, it will remember where you are and just pick up. Like, not a checkpoint. It'll be like, do you know what, with some DVDs you put in and it picks up, Yeah. So,
I quite like that feature. It's a good feature, but at the same time, sometimes you sit there and go, I don't want a quick resume. I wasn't having a good point at that point. I was having a really, really bad time.
A really, really bad time. I can see we got a couple more people in there. I got Cajun Yeti's here. Hello.
Hello, Cajun Yeti. And we have a question from Jacob, which we'll get to in a sec. But Mrs. Craggle's got the trusty hot water bottle out. Now that's a good shout. We've had the fire on, the open fire. Stoked that up at about 3:00 this afternoon, just after I said I was going on the Xbox. I thought, I'll put this on and then play Xbox. I thought that's a great idea.
Remember, folks, you don't look at the mantelpiece when you're stoking the fire. Important safety tip there.
Jacob Neely says, Craggle, which do you prefer? The summer where you are dying of heat or the winter where it is freezing to death?
Oh, that is a classic British question because there is no in between in the UK, is there? It's either like, if it's not freezing, then it's just pissing it down with rain. We do have some lovely weather, but it's...
When it's lovely weather, it's stupidly lovely weather. It's 33 degrees.
To the point that we just can't cope. Like, even though it's hotter when we go abroad on holiday, over there, the buildings are designed for the heat. They have aircon. You know, when you're on holiday, you don't have to go to work. In the UK, we are not designed to have nice weather. But likewise, when we have bad weather, it's still crap.
Well, this is it. Me and Lady Sam were having a conversation about this not so long ago, actually. We were saying how, because she was telling me about houses in Australia, and she was saying how houses in Australia are built to basically, be kept cool, and heat's not an issue. You need to, heating your home's not an issue. You need to worry about that sort of thing. And, it's warm. You know about it. So their houses are all designed to keep cool, whereas ours are, no, we need that heat.
Yeah.
And now you're getting your 33-degree days in summer, and you sit there and go, no, go away.
Yeah.
We did one of your streams, wasn't it? Was it the Daily Bugle one, where I must have had like 2 or 3 fans going in my bedroom?
Yeah, I had the window open. And there was noise going off, and normally I'd close the window because I don't want the noise to be picked up on mic. And I was like, sorry, kids, you're just going to have to deal with it because it's too bloody hot.
It was just so hot that day.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. All our houses are bricks and mortars with lots of insulation. If you go to Australia, a lot of them are wooden. Or even when they do have brick, it's kind of just like single, layer, almost just for show, really,
Yes, yeah.
But I would say, in terms of which season, my favourite season is autumn. When you get a nice autumn, which supposedly we're in autumn now, but really I think like we've just jumped ahead into winter, just with a few autumn leaves.
Yeah.
Especially when we had a lot of wind and stuff.
Yeah.
But I love a nice crispy autumn, dry autumn. But I used to love winter more out than summer when I was a kid because I used to think of, coming off the tail end of autumn, you have also Christmas. And also, the other thing is, and maybe you're the same, in UK schools, they almost taught us the seasons wrong. Well, they did teach us the seasons wrong because you're kind of like given the mentality that once New Year's Day is over, you're straight into spring. When really, winter lasts for freaking ages after that,
Correct, yeah. You were always sort of taught that like September or like the middle of August to to end of November is considered autumn. December, that's winter. Yeah. And then spring is in January. And you actually go, no, spring doesn't start till the 21st of March. And I should know this because that's my birthday.
Yeah. And that's the thing I think that depresses so many people in the UK is that we're fine with winter when the nights are getting dark and you've got Christmas tree lights and Christmas lights on the houses and we have something to look forward to and stuff. It's after that when we've got a new year and it's just dark, it's miserable, and summer is a long way away. And then of course summer comes and we're like, oh my god, it's so hot, my skin is melting off my face.
Indeed, yeah.
We are experts at complaining about the weather, the British. We really are.
Oh, that's it. There's one thing the Brits do really well. It's queuing and complaining about the weather.
That's true.
Brits can queue forever.
Yeah. And
So,
by the way, can I just check? Is this a Lego stream?
I don't know, because all we've done so far is talk about the weather.
I blame Jacob. He brought it up.
Well, this is it. So I suppose then, getting on to the subject of Lego, Black Friday deals and VIP weekend. What have you picked up? Come on.
Well, I actually have a couple of haul videos that I've shot that I need to do that will show in detail what I've got. But I'll give a little spoiler here anyway, because we've only got the hardcore audience of mine, I think, that come over to this. No disrespect to yourself, but not the masses. So, a little spoiler: I picked up in the Black Friday deals a second Creator Expert Ghostbusters Afterlife Ecto 1. So I have one for each hand now. And do you want to know how much I got it for? Well, you know.
Yeah, I know, because
I got it down from £179.99 to £66.
That still makes me.
Because it was down. Basically, it was down to 120, I think it was, in Argos and the Black Friday deal. But they were stacking it with a discount code that gave you another 20% off. So that brought it down to £96, which is already an incredible deal. It's
because that's almost 50%.
Yeah, it's something like 49% off, I think I worked it out as. And then I actually had £30 worth of Argos vouchers from completing surveys that I've had for a while. So using the £30 vouchers, it brought it down to 66 quid. How could I say no to that?
I know, and the funny bit about this is you and I had literally been talking about it a couple of days beforehand, going, do you know what? It would be great to have another Ecto one, but the cost,
because I want to modify it into the Ecto 1A, because even though it is the Ghostbusters Afterlife Ecto, I love Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've seen it twice, and I'm planning to see it a third time in the cinema. I left all the rust stickers off. So mine is kind of like in the Ghostbuster Afterlife configuration, but nice and shiny,
You mean, because we're a Lego stream, here's one I prepared earlier, like this.
Exactly, yeah. Because the other thing is, I don't even like the look of the rust stickers. It's not so much that I don't want to see the Ecto 1 rusting, because, it works in the context of the film. But the rust stickers are just kind of tacky, so I left them off.
Yeah, do you know what? I thought the same. The rust stickers were a bit meh. They just didn't make it look good at all.
But I now want to do an Ecto 1A, because, I've done that with the minifig scale one.
Yeah.
And now I have the opportunity to do it. I also told you about the offer, and I believe that something happened in your household as well.
Yeah, we may have also got on Argos's website and took advantage of the same deal. Not down to 66 quid because we didn't have any survey vouchers, but 96 quid. So there is another one downstairs.
Still 96 quid though, mate. As we said, it's almost
absolute bargain.
Absolute bargain. You look at Lego and see what sets are going for like 90 quid. I know it's 6 quid under, but compare that to the Ecto 1.
Exactly. And then when you look at what Lego was offering on their website for Black Friday, it was utterly disappointing.
Yeah, it was crap, wasn't it?
It was. I think.
And I know some people were holding off. Because obviously the weekend before was double VIP.
Yeah.
And some people were holding off buying stuff with double VIP, thinking it might be a Black Friday deal, and then of course it wasn't. So they lost out on basically having 10% back in VIP as opposed to the usual 5%.
Yeah. It's
crap. I honestly feel like Black Friday in general isn't very good in the UK. I mean, it was something that we never had really. It was come over from America, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was.
And I feel like it came out. I feel like it came over here about.
About 8 years ago. 2014.
Yeah, but I would say about 2014. I was going to say 2012, 2014, and the first basically company to bring it to the UK was Amazon, wasn't it? Amazon.co.uk brought it over.
Yeah.
And they used to have some incredible deals, the lightning deals on Black Friday. Because I remember getting the Harry Potter 8-movie box set on Blu-ray, and I got it for like 30 quid. And bear in mind, I think at that point it'd only been out like a year, and it didn't go cheaper than that for like 3 or 4 years. So I was like, even like for 3 or 4 years, it was still a good deal that what I got.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you go on there on Amazon and it's crap. It's like, get this really shitty air fryer that has a 4-month guarantee for 50 quid as opposed to 55 quid.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
No.
No one.
No. Nobody wants that. But not only did we get an X01.
Oh, yes.
Lady Sam also got the Millennium Falcon. Not the UCS Millennium Falcon. Just stress. Just the smaller one that's part of the Star Wars set.
The Rise of Skywalker one, which, to be fair, is probably the best minifig scale one they've done, like in terms of play sets.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I got this behemoth,
ooh.
the Ferrari.
I didn't realize you were into those kind of sets.
Race car.
It's
a race car, and my job's racing, so it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of need to get it. But it also provides an ability to learn and pick up some interesting building techniques for when you do other projects that don't resemble themselves around bricks.
Yeah.
Comments about this thing? Too many bloody stickers, man. I mean, just look at it. That's all stickers, not a single
It looks like
printed.
It looks like a 13-year-old's homework diary from high school. You know, when they plaster it with stickers, on the cover, and try and be, express their individual personality. That's what it looks like. What the hell? How is that even advertising? Because you don't see anything. Nothing sticks out. I mean, I can, like, what is that? Is that the Shell logo, I think I see? That's about it.
Yeah.
That's all I can make out. Otherwise, it's just busy nonsense.
UPS logo.
Oh, okay.
This stream is not sponsored by Shell or UPS, just by the way.
No.
Just
you just know to use the free seashells.
But
Jacob says Lego was false advertising on Black Friday. Yeah, I did laugh when Jacob posted it now at the Cut the Craggle Discord. He said that they should take this down for false advertising because it said amazing deals on Black Friday. It was like there were no amazing deals. Amazingly bad, maybe.
I think both me and Lady Sam looked at it, and we both kind of looked at each other and just went, well, there's nothing on there we want.
No. Argos killed it. The thing with Argos, though, is that their stock distribution is really weird. It always has been. And, of course, Argos, as we know it, doesn't exist now. They're just kind of like little areas inside Sainsbury's now. Yeah. And Mrs. Craggle woke me up because I was on a late shift, so I was sleeping in, having been up late the night before, and it was like, I can get the Ecto 1 for 96 quid from Argos. Shall I get it for you? Do you want me to get it? Use them. Oh, yes. She was going to use my card details, so I'd be paying for it. But, should she put it through for me? And I just kind of went, half asleep, went, I got Argos vouchers. Use those as well. And then I woke up, then we proper looked at it, and we ordered it. And I'm glad I did, because by the time it said ready to pick up, it was out of stock in Cardiff, anywhere near us.
Well, funny thing, when Lady Sam ordered it, she put it through, and it's been about 5-10 minutes later, she got an email saying, we're sorry you cancelled your order, and we both went, no. Oh my
word.
Please don't tell us it's gone already. And we're there going, and she's like, I didn't cancel the order. So we're let's put it through again. So we did it again, and we're checking back every 10-15 minutes going, haven't had an email saying it's cancelled this time.
So why did they cancel the first time? That's bizarre.
I don't know if they cancelled it or even if Lady Sam accidentally cancelled it, but we both in a blind panic. No.
You probably had heart failure.
We both did. We were both sat there.
It was only afterwards I saw some of the other sets they had on offer, and some of them were ones that they're sets that I'm not massively interested in, but they were so cheap that if they had been in stock, I probably would. Like the Winnie the Pooh Lego Ideas set. It's not one that I'm into, but that was down from 90 quid, I think, to about 60. And then
Yeah.
with another 20% off, then it was like down to 58. No, well, 48, I think it was. So 48 quid for that set would be ridiculous, you know?
Exactly.
But it was out of stock everywhere. The one that I can a little bit gutted I missed out on was the Hogsmeade one, because that was working out. It was going down to 38 quid. No, 34,
okay.
34 quid I worked out as. Obviously, this is not including any Argos vouchers because they were spent on the Ecto 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was out of stock everywhere. It was like, are you willing to travel? And I went, okay, thinking it would tell me I had to go to Caerphilly or Newport. It was taking me to freaking Gloucestershire. I was like, I'm not going to Gloucestershire for a Lego set. Not for freaking Hogsmeade, which is a set that, to me, feels incomplete. Like, when they announced Hogsmeade, everyone thought it was going to be in a similar sort of, like, you know, format and scale to the Diagon Alley set. But really, it was just two, you know, smallish buildings.
Yeah.
And I like it, but it's not worth the money. But for 34 quid, I definitely would get it, as long as I didn't have to spend, like, a full tank of petrol getting there to get it, you know, and getting back.
Oh, next time, if this ever happens, check if there's any up near me, mate. And, yeah, just order it and I'll pick it up for you and post it.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Or even drop it down to you, because I'm always around that area somewhere anyway, aren't I? So.
Yeah, I do get the odd chill down my spine. I think he's crossed over.
Cross that border.
I don't mean he's died. I mean he's crossed over the border.
Yeah, just making sure everybody knows it means crossing over the border between England and Wales. Nothing else. Jacob says, I like the regular Speed Champion sets. Stickers are a very big problem with those sets, though, as well. Yeah. The Speed Champions stuff is good, but again, some of the Speed Champions stuff they do actually print.
Some
do
stuff.
have printed.
My mum moans about the stickers because she loves Speed Champion sets. We often get them for her because she always loves cars. Like, I love mainly buildings and, you know, scene builds. You know, I like the idea of having, you know, one day when we get a bigger house, I want a Lego city. And
who doesn't?
But my mum, she loves vehicles. And I like cars, but, you know, I'm not into, you know, I would take a building over a car. But she moans about the stickers, but she puts them all on. I was like, just leave them off if you want to. If you think it looks better. She's like, well, no, because it's incomplete then.
I don't think it, for me, I don't think it's the fact that I don't like the look of them. I just don't like that there's so many of them.
Oh. You know, I was actually thinking that I was going to build my Home Alone set on tonight's stream, but I'm so ill I can't be bothered.
Well, that's fair enough, mate.
I haven't touched this since the last Cut the Craggle live stream, so I do need to get back into that because I wanted to have it built by December, but that's not going to happen now at this rate.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? Okay. Yeah, you might want to just like do that when you're feeling better.
Yeah. And this is the thing, though. Everyone because I thought I might have had COVID again because I think I may have mentioned on the previous live stream that my sister has caught COVID. She's been double jabbed, same as me. She didn't have COVID last. My parents had COVID, and I had COVID before. I got suspected long COVID. But when I heard that, and it coincided kind of like a few days after I had met up with my sister, that I was ill, I was like, oh, so I've caught it again probably. But the test came back negative, and I know they're not 100%, but it's weird because my parents are ill. Now Mrs. Crackle is ill, and we've all got similar symptoms. But then I'm hearing, like, you know, there's lots of viruses going around at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
It is the season, but it's so weird because I had the flu jab as well. But it was, what was it? End of October, start of November, start of the month, I think it was. I got that cold, remember? And I said to you, it's like the worst cold ever. But that seemed to pass. And then within a few days of me feeling better, I got ill, and it's just been like a downward spiral. Honestly, if I was a horse, they'd be taking me out back and giving me 2 barrels worth. I'm sick to death of it. I'm sick. You know, people say that men are pathetic when they're ill, and I stand by that. We are better at being injured, I think, than being ill. Like, if I've got like a gaping cut in my arm, I'll be like, for crying out loud, I'll get angry rather than be in pain.
Yeah, like, how did that happen?
Yeah, like, and I'll just get on with it. But when it's like, I'm ill, I'm incapacitated, I'm on my ass. But it's
Yeah.
got to the point now where I'm getting angry and getting frustrated with myself for being ill.
Yeah, know that feeling all too well. When I think it was end of October, beginning of November, when I was I think I mentioned to you and may have mentioned on the stream that I was out doing some work in a secret place.
Oh, yeah.
And the days that we were out there were cold, and it was windy, and it wasn't raining, thankfully. Obviously, we would have just packed up and gone home, but it was cold and windy every day, and you're doing manual labour, so you're getting hot, but you need to keep your layers on because of the wind. But then you're getting hot, so you take a layer off, and then you go, but now I'm cold, and you're just like, oh, sod it. And I came back from those days being really ill. I think the Friday after the second one, I just said to the missus, I said, I'm not going into work today, but I also feel massively, massively ruined that I think this might actually be something other than just a cold. So we did a COVID test anyway, just to be sure, and nothing came back. So they're going, okay, I'm just really, really ill, and I'm just going to lie in bed and sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I had a negative test at the start of the year when I did have COVID. So you can get like false negatives, and they're careful with the word, and they say that it's likely you don't have the COVID virus.
Yeah.
But this one, I felt like we did a better test because I remember the first one we did, I almost gagged and my tongue almost topped the cotton bud, because they say you can't touch your tongue like that. This time, I I gripped my tongue in my hand,
grabbed it down there,
poked. Because the thing is, I got scars on the back of my throat where the tonsils were. So she did that for me. We sent it off, and I don't know. I had a good feeling that we did the test properly this time. And it came back negative, and I was like, oh. But then my parents are ill. They haven't done the test. They just well, we're going to self-isolate anyway. So we're just. There's no point, it would only be for us to go, oh, yeah, we got COVID again.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister's got it, and she's been off work and everything, and it's just a bit crap. It's
not a nice feeling, is it?
No. You get frustrated with it,
Not a nice feeling. Right.
There you go. We've moaned about weather. We've moaned about our health. We're ticking off all the British stereotypes so far. We've also talked about a bargain. That's another thing we're good at in Britain, is getting a bargain. We love a good bargain.
Indeed.
Anything else you want to do? Should we all have a cup of tea now or something?
No. Don't start on the cup of tea front. Woke up this morning, no blooming milk. Absolutely no milk. And I have not had a cup of tea all day, and I am fuming. Inside, I am breaking. I am waiting for milk.
Have you not gone and got milk today?
It was one of those things. I woke up and I was like, "There's no milk. I can't. I want to go get some," but then I'm like, "But that requires a 20-30 minute drive to the shop to go get some, and a 20-30 minute drive to go back."
Where do you live? Do you live in the Shire or something?
Pretty much, mate. Yeah. I picked where I live well.
Because normally milk is one of the things that you can get anywhere,
Yeah.
Bread and milk is pretty much, the staple of whenever there's a storm, the UK are always like, where can I get bread and milk?
The thing is, there is no village shop here. There is no village shop.
How can you call it a village if there's no village shop? What is this?
Okay, this is a gathering of houses. There's a pub.
It sounds like a rural AA committee.
Do you know what? I should have just gone to the pub and said, "Can I have some milk, please?"
Yeah, you should have done.
Can you put some milk in my cup?
In all fairness, most pubs nowadays actually serve you can order a cup of tea. It was a Wetherspoons thing I think they introduced, but no, I think even standalone pubs do it now, don't they?
Yeah. Wouldn't have been Yorkshire tea though, so I would have had to say, "Here's a tea bag, leave me a brew."
Oh, see, this is why I'm happy I don't like hot drinks. Well, I like a hot chocolate in the winter, and it's getting that kind of weather.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've never got into tea. I started drinking tea when I was a kid for a little bit. I think it's because I wanted to be like my parents, when I was like 7 or 8, and then I just kind of went off it again.
yeah. Jacob says he's more of a coffee kind of guy.
Coffee.
But
In all fairness, though, the coffee has infiltrated the UK. We're still primarily a nation of tea drinkers, but coffee was like the only coffee anyone ever drunk over here was Nescafe.
Yes, yeah.
That was it, and it was always like you'd have like a jar in your house of tea bags and a jar of coffee granules, and the toffee granules would last you like 20 times longer than the tea because hardly anyone would have coffee. And then I would want to say about 2008, 2009 is when the coffee chains infiltrated the UK and they hit it hard. And the way I think they did it is that they target like the inner city commuters, the people going into the town, like, in the city centres, going to work in the office. Oh, have this pick me up that'll perk you up, so I'll give you a hit. Almost like they were selling crack or something,
Liquid crack, yes.
Basically, because I remember like we had one Starbucks in Cardiff for years, and it was never busy, and it was just this one Starbucks on Queen Street, and then all of a sudden now they're every freaking where. Yeah, I remember when I was in Bradford, that was when they started getting popular because all of a sudden you had a Cafe Nero, a Starbucks, a Costa. It was like, what?
Yeah, they one of the places I used to work was in the centre of Birmingham, and there was a sort of an old listed building next to our building, but on a separate island in the road. And you used to look out the window at it and just go, it's just a nice little weird clocky tower building. Cool.
Yeah.
And then one day, they slapped a massive fence around it and said, Costa coming soon. And I've never seen that place so busy in my life. After that, it was just constantly, there was always people there, cars there, because they had part of it up as a drive-through as well.
That blows my mind. Drive-through coffee,
I mock it, but at the same time, I do use it because when I'm doing events, and
you do.
When I'm going to events and I'm driving on the road, I'm just like, do you know what? I could just get a nice large hot chocolate from Starbucks with 2 pumps of caramel, some whipped cream, some caramel drizzle. Let's just do this. Just like, there's the card. Give me the hot chocolate. Get a cinnamon swirl as well as a little snack when you get there. And you're like, yep, that's me. That's me sorted. And I do it more often than I should. I really I shouldn't do it, but I do. Because you just get into the habit.
Time with the BrickKeeper.
Pardon?
Is this confession time with the BrickKeeper?
Oh no, let's not start that. That's a deep dark well.
Oh dear, careful what you're saying there, Mrs. Crackle. She says she wants a big purple one. Be careful, that can be interpreted.
Yeah.
You're a married woman, how dare you?
Yeah.
She means like the do you know the Quality Street one?
Oh yes, yeah.
They've done the big purple one flavored latte.
They used to do. I don't know whether Costa still do it because I tend to go to Starbucks more because they're just more in the way of places where I go. They used to have around October, November time, a bonfire spiced hot chocolate, and that was just amazing. But every time I ever went to go pick one up from the roadside service stations that had little drive-through bits in, they never had bonfire spice.
Oh.
You'd say, it's on the menu. You'd look at it and go, bonfire spice hot chocolate, please.
Was it the equivalent to when you go to McDonald's and you ask for like a McFlurry or you ask for an ice cream that like the ice cream machine isn't working?
Pretty much, mate. Yeah. Exactly that.
That always happens, doesn't it? Apparently, like it's all a lie. Like people have come out who work McDonald's and say it's because they can't be asked cleaning it because it takes ages to clean the machine. So they just basically say, "Oh, it's not working."
Do you know what,
And
though?
this has been like, and I've also asked someone who worked at McDonald's, and they were like, "Yeah, 9 times out of 10, we were just chatting shit." Like,
Do you know
we
what,
couldn't be
though?
honest.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it so much. Oh, dear.
So we've called this the Return of Joe, and he's not coming then, is he?
Evidently not. He's had some family over unexpectedly, but he's going to try and break away from them and join us.
Oh.
So at the moment, this is the.
Tell them they're too late for Thanksgiving and they're too early for Christmas, and sod off.
Yeah. There you go, Joe. Tell him that you'll be back anytime. What this has turned into is just the Sam and Craggle stream talking about
British things.
British things.
Yeah. Well, I used to be on a podcast. We used to do live called Bricks and Brits. I don't know if you know that. It was probably before we met. And it was me, it was Greg from Brick Attack, and it was a guy called Rogue Runner who was a fellow Brit. He was English like you. Though nowhere near as handsome. And and it was kind of basically just talking about Lego, but also just in terms of we would naturally, talk about the differences in cultures and experiences, and just, what was, how it would just come into our experiences of different sides of the pond. And I used to do a thing where I think I called it Craggle's Quiz in the end, but I would like do questions where I would ask BrickKeeper about British culture. I would ask him like, what is toad in a hole or something like that,
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. That's it. That's a hearty British meal for this time of the year as well, I feel.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, I just saw Jacob's comment. Yeah, that was the point. It was Bricks and Brits. So he was like representing the Brick side of it. We were the Brits. It was because he wanted to do something, because he had such a big British audience and he wanted to do something for them. So he asked me and Rogue if we would be interested in it. And it was good. The only problem was we were always trying to struggle because our schedules were pulling us in different directions. So sometimes I'd be down for work and sometimes Rogue couldn't make it. Sometimes Greg was on there. So in the end, we kind of went from weekly to monthly. Then it was kind of like bi-monthly. In the end, it kind of like fizzled out. But it was great times. And there was some quality gold on there. And I have been thinking like I would like to do a kind of podcast again. But you know me, I'm just super inconsistent. So
aren't we all though at the moment?
Yeah. My aim is that once we get, not just me, once we get to January, I'm going to try and use that as like a point to go, right, I want to be more consistent. I tried doing it from coming back from my honeymoon and it worked for a while. I was doing 2 videos a week. They were scheduled a week in advance. So the week that they came out, I was working on the following week's videos. But then just being ill made me lose those days. And the thing is, because I have a day job as well, if I'm ill and I don't do the YouTube work on my days off, then I've kind of lost that week,
Wait, you have a day job?
I do.
Do you not make money from YouTube?
Not a lot. A little bit of pocket money.
Yeah. Well, talking of odd things, did you know today, 10 years ago today, I was in a desert. The desert. I was in Afghanistan. I just landed.
Wow.
Yeah. Who'd have thought? Well, I say just landed. At this point in time, I've probably been there, 12 hours?
Oh, blimey. That was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Scary, mate. I had my 21st birthday in Afghanistan.
Shit, I forget how young you are.
I know. I'm sorry.
I keep thinking you're closer to my age, but you're not. You're like a little pup, aren't you, really?
I am not 21 now. Let's just clarify that. I have lost many years.
You lost years. It's like when I say to my missus, I say, when I met you, I was in my 20s. I was a lot lighter, and I had my whole life ahead of me. What did you do to me?
Do you know what, though? hang on a sec. I could apply that same argument.
Yeah.
I could apply that same because I met my missus when I was 29.
Oh.
So I could say.
To be honest, you've got to be careful though. They don't like it. They don't like
I
it.
know.
They don't like it. Although I upset the missus as well today. But I'll tell you that off stream why I upset her, because I don't know. I don't think she'd be even more upset if I disclose it on a public live stream. But we're all good. But yeah.
We'll talk about it later. So yesterday, I was meant to do this stream yesterday, but I made a boo-boo.
Oh, in my head, you meant to do it on Friday.
I was completely confused. I've been meant to do this for a while. But yeah, I was meant to do this stream yesterday, but I made a boo-boo and I double booked myself. That's why the stream is today. Yesterday, I ended up way before COVID was even a thing. Me and my couple of old work colleagues I used to work with in Birmingham had been each year going to see Star Wars in concert. And it would be a Star Wars film, starting with episode 4, with a live symphony orchestra playing the score as the movie went along. And we'd done episode 4, we'd done episode 5 in 2019, and when the dates came out for episode 6, which was in 2020, we obviously booked it, not knowing that COVID was going to happen. So we didn't go ahead with it last year. Obviously, theatres weren't open and symphony halls weren't open, certainly. So it was on for this year. But I didn't remember that it was yesterday until like a couple of days ago when one of my mates texted me and said, "Don't forget, Saturday, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi." I was there going, "Oh, yeah. Right. Cool. Yeah, great idea." And I'm sat there thinking, uh-oh. I've double booked myself because that's at the same point I've put a stream on. I'm there going, yeah, that's not going to work. So, yeah, obviously rescheduled this for today, but Return of the Jedi, man, with a live symphony orchestra.
Was it good?
Mate, it was out frigging standing. I mean, they had a large break because of everything that was happening in Jabba's palace. They didn't really play the score for because it's not, well, they didn't play any music for because it's not a score as such. It's more background music and that weird frog lippy girl doing that stupid song.
Yeah, the music in there is kind of like what they call in film is diegetic sound. So it's music that originates in universe in the scene, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, they were doing that, and they were all over it. It was
there a guy at the front who was doing the lightsaber noises going vroom, vroom?
No. Funny enough, there was when every time the conductor stood there and went, "Let's get back to Star Wars," there was someone a couple rows in front of me that shouted across the entire theatre. We were in the upper circle, so we were well at the back, sort of thing, but we had a good view and good sound. And some guy just started going, "May the Force be with you, pal." Just across this entire, because everybody was dead silent at that stage, waiting for it. The conductor had turned his back, got his I don't know what started getting ready to go, and it's this guy goes, "May the Force be with you," and you're there going, "Yeah, well done, cool."
Don't you miss the days though when you used to shorten the name? So when you used to say Star Wars, you could say, "Oh, I want to see Jedi last night," so we would know that you were on about Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they announced the title was The Last Jedi, I was already a little bit upset because I was like, one, it's another free-worded title coming off the back of The Force Awakens, and I quite like The Force Awakens as a title. And also, it means that you can no longer just call Return of the Jedi Jedi, because you used to go Empire, Jedi, Menace, Clones, Sith, Hope,
Yeah. But one thing that I did come to realize last night,
Oh,
and bear in mind, I've watched Star Wars a lot, but there's a point you get to when you're just when you're at that age as an adult, you sit there and you go, I know enough about the universe, I know enough about the lore and everything like that. And you sit there and you then just start nitpicking at everything. I was there watching it, going, and I'm there going, I never realized before how many times Yoda says Luke and then says another thing and then goes Luke and then another thing.
Oh yeah.
And you just there going, but hang on a sec, didn't Family Guy make a joke about that in their version? You're going, yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I also love the meme when it says, "As an adult with 2 kids, I now understand why Yoda got so fed up with Luke's questions that he just fell asleep and died." I love that meme as well. But yeah, it is almost like it keeps on talking.
He doesn't. He just goes, Luke.
The one thing that bugs me now is the whole thing of that Leia remembers her mother. Because
that
the
bit really annoyed me because we both sat there and me and my mates went, wait, hang on a sec, right? Leia was effectively 2 minutes younger than Luke. 2 or 3 minutes.
So she had less time with her mother.
Exactly.
I honestly think because the original, from what I remember, and I've talked about this before about the stuff that Lucas did change in the prequels, from his original plan. The original thing was that Padme, or whoever she was named back then, the mother of Luke and Leia, Anakin's wife, wasn't going to die during childbirth. She was going to basically end up being a handmaiden in the Alderaan Palace, and was going to be kind of like Leia's nanny or something,
Okay, yeah.
And she probably would have died at some point between Sith and A New Hope.
Oh no, there's an easy way to do that. Just sort it out with New Hope. Oh, we'll test this new planet of destruction weapon on your homeworld. Yes.
Yeah. Anakin doesn't realize that he's just blown up the planet with his wife.
Exactly.
One thing that I've always said, and I like the prequels, Star Wars, especially I prefer them over the sequels. And the one thing I say is that for all problems they have, at least they told a story that went from A to B across 3 films. But
correct, yes.
In the original plan, and I had this book. It was and it was in forward by George Lucas, and it came out when the time the special editions came out. So it came out a couple of years before Phantom Menace, and in there he tells the story, like the overview of the prequels, and it's drastically different. For one, Obi-Wan Kenobi is Owen's brother. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is like the prodigal son. Like, he's the favorite kid. He goes off to train with Yoda to become a Jedi. He comes back, and during that time, his parents have died, and Owen's inherited the farm. And Owen's kind of resentful of him, and doesn't want anything to do with him. He's kind of like, you went off and become a Jedi Knight, and you left us here, and then my dad died, and now I'm here looking after the farm. And whilst Obi-Wan's there, before he leaves, he meets a young farmhand who is not 10 years old, but more like 18, kind of similar age to like Luke was, called Anakin Skywalker, who is unbelievably strong with the Force. Then the Clone Wars break out, and George, in this forward, doesn't explain, what the Clone Wars was or how it happened, but says that the Jedi who were kind of scattered around the galaxy at this point, who swore allegiance to the Republic, are basically called to fight up in the Clone Wars, which kind of evokes, basically, samurai, which is what I always thought the Jedi were going to be like, more like, a cross between samurai at the, the sort of dawn of the industrial era with, Arthurian knights.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan says to Anakin, look, I'm going off to fight now, and I think, but you've got this amazing talent. Come with me, and I'll teach you how to use it. And Anakin and Obi-Wan go off. Anakin becomes a Jedi Knight, and the both of them, they emerge as world famous heroes, basically, the Clone Wars. And it's not until the Clone Wars are long finished by the time Anakin turns to the dark side. In this forward, he says, that Afterwards, the galaxy has a period of peace in there, but the Jedi start getting killed one by one. Obi-Wan's trying to figure out who's picking off these Jedi across the galaxy and finds out that it's his former apprentice who has become power hungry and is searching for this way to unlock even more power, and basically eventually has to take him down. And then he finds out, he's got his 2 children. He puts his 2 children into hiding as the Empire takes hold. He doesn't really go into like how Palpatine was in there, probably because he already wanted the idea of Palpatine sort of being Sidious to be a secret. But you can see that there's a drastic difference to what we actually got. And in many ways, I think the old version made more sense about, Owen's, feelings towards Obi-Wan in A New Hope would make a lot more sense. I mean, he even says that Obi-Wan says, your uncle thought Anakin should have stayed here and not gone involved,
Yeah.
He didn't want you to follow me like Anakin did,
Yes.
So.
And do you know what? Speaking of Palpatine, I'm a little bit ashamed to admit this, but I'm going to say it anyway. When I watched episode 1, bear in mind I was probably about 9 or 10. But having watched it as an adult and understanding how it all links and everything like that, and it's not just standalone movies, I'm ashamed to admit it took me far too freaking long to figure out when Palpatine first appears in episode 1 that's Emperor Palpatine.
Are you serious?
It took me far too freaking long. And I sat there and I went, that's Ian McDermott. Why do I recognise that name? And I'm there going, oh.
It's one of those twists that only works if you watch episode 1, 2, 3. Because otherwise, you look at Sidious and he looks just like Palpatine, but then you see Palpatine as a politician who's supposedly good, and you're like, well, he's blatantly Sidious.
Yeah.
The twist in episode 3 that Palpatine is Sidious only works if you watch them 1, 2, 3. My argument is, though, the lore doesn't work because you have to wait till episode 4 before anyone actually explains to you what the Force is. And I remember that even as a kid. I remember watching episode 1 and going, wait a sec. Lucas has said that in his mind you should start off by watching this film first. In Star Wars A New Hope, you have the introduction to the Force and what the Jedi are through Obi-Wan teaching Luke. In this one, we just have these guys suddenly swing around laser swords, pushing things with their minds, and there's no explanation to it.
Yeah, there's no explanation until you get to the stage of pod racing.
A little bit, yeah, and that. But really, in terms of what the Force is, you don't get anything properly until episode. They talk about midichlorians.
Yeah. I think you probably get a better understanding. Well, I think the most understanding you get of what the Force is when Yoda, the Council, is explaining it to Anakin when he's there for his child test on Coruscant. Yeah. I think that's the most. But even then, that's kind of it surrounds us, it binds us, it penetrates us, it makes us feel nice, all that sort of stuff. But
all he does really is talk about how the dark side. He doesn't really talk about the nature of the Force.
Yeah, it is just, yeah.
By the way, I might go a bit quiet now, or I might get even louder because I've got food.
Oh. I
wouldn't get a photograph if I'm too hungry.
That's something to recharge yourself with, mate.
I got jacket potatoes.
Oh, nice.
And the filling, I've got turkey and bacon mayo with grated mature cheddar cheese on top.
Oh, well, yeah, that's an interesting topping.
Have you not had that before?
To give us more on his thoughts about this topping, we have another guest.
No way.
We do. It's Space Time.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Good. Just woke up.
Excellent. And that makes it 1 o'clock in the afternoon over there?
Yeah, 1:24.
I swear Spacetime is a freaking warlock. Look at him. He looks younger again. Every time I see him, he looks younger. He's aging backwards. He's Benjamin Button. What are you doing, Spacetime?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Are you washing in the tears of newborn baby swans?
That would be incredible if it was, I guess.
Oh dear. Well, it's good to have you with us. Craggle is eating jacket potatoes. We've been talking today about a great many things.
We ticked off all the British stuff. We did the
Yeah.
weather, we did our health, we did a good bargain, and also tea.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So we're just discussing the fact that I went to see Return of the Jedi in concert last night.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, I think you're about 30 years later.
Oh, that would have been a good one, but no. Return of the Jedi in concert. So the film being played with a live symphony orchestra playing the score as it goes through. We were just talking about how, well, there are things about you notice more about the films as you go on, and you sit there and having watched everything, and how you start nitpicking at everything and going, well, no, that's wrong. Like the whole Leia knowing her mother and remembering her mother when really she's 2 minutes younger than Luke, so she knew her for less time.
You didn't think the author of the prequel trilogy went back and watched the original trilogy?
It's also when she says to Luke, she goes, "I've always known." What? Even when you Frenched him?
Right. About this bit, okay? Because there's that one scene at the end when Han says, I'm sure Luke wasn't on that thing when it blew up. And she goes, he wasn't. I can feel it. And he goes, yeah, no. You love him, don't you? Do you know what? When he gets back, I won't get in the way. And she goes, no, he's my brother. And it's that look that Han has for approximately about 20 seconds. That's like, hang on a sec here.
You know that Leia wasn't originally intended to be his sister. Like, apparently he always intended to be a sister, but that was going to be the sequel trilogy originally, was Luke going and finding his long-lost twin sister.
Yeah.
It wasn't until mid-production on Jedi that he decided to make Leia the sister.
That's a good reasoning for Han's face then.
But yeah, I had a similar experience because a couple years ago I got to see Empire in concert, which was phenomenal. And then just like stuff like when Luke arrives on Dagobah, he's like, it's so familiar. It's like it's almost from a dream. So when I was watching episode 3 for the first time in high school and everyone was going to their special places, I'm like, Obi-Wan's going to drop off Yoda on Dagobah, and the kids are going to be with him because he can remember it from like
yes.
And I'm like, nope, didn't do that.
You know, I remember there being this fan theory when episode 1 came out that Naboo was going to get wiped out like via either an early version of Death Star or something, and it was basically going to become Dagobah, and that is why Luke feels familiar, because it would have been his home planet. Originally, they thought they were going to be born on Naboo, and that the cave, the pit he goes down into, where
it's too creative, Craggle.
Where the dark side is, when he sees the vision of Vader, was going to be basically the spot where Darth Maul's body went after he died, when he originally died in Phantom Menace.
Okay.
So yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been. There's lots of different avenues they could have taken, but
I think the in-canon explanation now is that he senses is actually Yoda. He's sensing because obviously Yoda was there at his birth.
I mean, you can make it be anything you want.
I mean, I don't mind that so much. Out of all the films, though, I feel like Jedi got the worst treatment in the latest batch of changes.
Oh, right. The special edition. Yeah.
Not even the special, because the special edition are kind of the ones I grew up with. The ones in the 90s, but then they changed it for the DVD, then it gave again for the Blu-ray, and then when they came out on Disney Plus, we had a different change again, which apparently the ones that Lucas did for the 3D releases that got scrapped.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like I hate having Hayden Christensen at the end because it makes zero sense.
Yeah,
and George Lucas's reasoning for it is the good in Anakin died in Revenge of the Sith, so that's why when he comes back as a good Force ghost, it looks like that. I'm like, but that goes against the whole film. The whole plot of Jedi is that there was always some good in Anakin, and that Luke basically takes that spark and he reignites it and he brings it out. So it'd make more sense to have basically a good Force ghost that would age as Anakin would have done and look like the Jedi he could have been had he not turned to the dark side.
Correct.
If I was Sebastian Shaw, I would be pissed.
Yeah. And the thing is, his performance was so much. I used to love the look that he gave when Leia joined Luke's side because it looked like a father watching proudly at his children. Whereas Anakin now, he has the wrong robes because they just put Hayden Christensen's head on top of the same body, and his eyeliner is going in the wrong direction, and he just looks like he's playing with himself.
Yeah, because he sort of gives it this weird nervous look where he looks down at the floor, looks to where Obi-Wan and Yoda would be as Force ghosts, and then just sort of gives this weird little smirk, and then just sort of darts his eyes around again. Are you there going,
what? Yeah, what is that? It makes no sense.
Yeah, and it's all the little bits like, knowing this was, they obviously tweaked it after some of the prequels. It's like on Tatooine in Jabba's palace, there is a scene. I think it's the one before. It's either the one before Luke arrives in the in Jabba's throne room, or Leia does with Chewie. But there is a Doug. Like Sebulba walking across the floor.
Yeah,
and that wasn't there in the original because,
and it looks subpar, doesn't it? It's like when they when they did Jabba in A New Hope. I thought it was amazing when I was a kid, but now it makes no sense because the dialogue is a repeat of what he just said to Greedo. Also, Jabba would never let Han step on his tail like that.
Yeah.
When they redid it for the DVD release, they did the model from the Phantom Menace, but it's like they turned off the lighting features because he just looks like a video game cutscene just pasted in. But my biggest problem though with Jedi in particular is when they did the Blu-ray release, they added in the soundbite from Revenge of the Sith, Freudian slip. Revenge of the Sith, when he goes, no.
I mean, I needed that because I needed to understand Vader's internal conflict. Because the language of film was not doing it for me. I needed to be handheld to get me through that climax.
And do you know what's worse is that before they made that change, I remember reading an article when they said it was one of the greatest shots this person, like I think a film critic said he saw in cinema, where you have this inanimate object of Vader's mask, and just through the lighting, the score, and the very, very slow, zoom in onto the mask, you get all the emotion you need out of that performance. You can interpret, your mind fills in the gaps of
and
what's happening.
Like Vader's mask, C-3PO are. I know Vader's not a robot, but the best robots are always robots that don't have moving mouths. For some reason, they're more expressive. In my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah. But
the thing is as well is that was one of the most ridiculed parts of Revenge of the Sith was him going no, and they use it on that. And what I heard, it wasn't even a new take. He literally used an alternate version of when James Earl Jones recorded that line for Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I actually love Tamara Morrison playing both Jango and Boba Fett, and I think he's done a great job playing Boba Fett. But I was pissed when they dubbed him over on the DVD release of Empire because it just didn't sound right. It didn't have the cool that Boba did. And he's even said himself, he said that if he could go back and re-record those lines, he would do, because when he recorded them, he went into a studio in New Zealand, a sound booth. There was him and I think 2 sound technicians, no director, no one talking through it, and he was given these lines, and he thought they were just ADR for Jango. So he had no context to them. And you could say, if he was a real fan, he would know them off by heart. Let's be honest. He might not have known these lines out of context. It might be vaguely familiar to him. But But the first time I thought he nailed it as Boba was in Star Wars Battlefront, because I felt like he was doing the voice, but he was making it distinct from Django.
Yeah.
So it felt like a perfect blending of the old Boba Fett voice with a new one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of things in the original special edition version of Jedi that, Return of the Jedi, that I like. I liked when they included the shots of all around the galaxy of people celebrating.
Yes, I did.
Until they
some of those
ruined
were
it in
reshot, and obviously some of those were planets from the prequels.
Well, yeah, it was the first look we got at Coruscant, wasn't it?
Yep.
I don't think they needed to add Naboo in when they did the DVD one, because they added Naboo in and complete with a Gungan going, "We's are free!" Like, no one else had any dialogue, and then you have him saying that.
That annoyed me last night, but also the fact when that was happening last night, that scene was happening last night, everybody, I'm talking every scene, someone is talking and saying, "Freedom, death to the Empire."
Really?
We're free of the Empire. Yeah.
They've changed it again.
So, yeah, there was someone in the Cloud City scene saying, we're free of the Empire. In the Naboo one, it's the Gungans going, we are free. We are free. In Tatooine, it goes, have you heard, we're free of the Empire. There's no more Empire. And you're just there going...
This must be, again, the changes for...
And then...
On Disney+. Plus.
And then they cut to season 2 of The Mandalorian, where everyone at the bar is watching the Death Star explode.
I wish.
See, that is so annoying, because that scene with just the music, and I also like the almost New Year's Eve style bells in Coruscant and just the tears was so good. How it used to fade in and fade out. You didn't need any dialogue, you just got it from the imagery and just the ambient noise.
Yeah. What I did like in the Coruscant one is the statue.
Yeah, the toppling of the statue. Yeah.
The toppling of the statue, but part of me always lived in hope that when that happens, you might see it. You'd see like people. I really just wanted a cutscene where there was, people from the expanded universe like Mara Jade and all that, and Thrawn and all that, just scurrying away at that time, and you're just there going, "Oh, come on, just give me that." But no.
I mean, in all fairness, Coruscant originated in the Heir to the Empire book. It wasn't even created by Lucas; it was created by Tim Fizan.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the first time I remember hearing of Coruscant was in the PC game X-Wing Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that came out in 99, maybe? No, 97. 97.
97, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 2 years before.
Because I just remember Star Destroyer's hyperdrive got deactivated, and they're like, inform Coruscant, we'll be there in so many hours.
Yeah.
And then that hyperdrive breaks down, and they're like, make that 3 weeks.
Exactly 3 weeks.
I'm pissed now that they changed that bit, because I only know about the changes I knew, and that happened on the Disney Plus release. I remember people were kicking off at Disney, and they were like, these are the latest versions that we got when we bought Lucasfilm. So basically, these are the ones that Lucas did before, he sold it off. They just hadn't been released yet. So then, obviously they're releasing them for the first time. And one of them was the Han and Greedo scene. And now Greedo shouts out, "Kaplunky." When he gets shot, he goes, "Kaplunky!"
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Jacob is a good point. I did like in Empire how they expanded Cloud City. I think that was one of the most successful things they did in the special editions. I think very few people criticize that change because it feels more like an open, city in the clouds now. And how they did particularly in the sunset, the lighting on the floor is done really well.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was.
It was one of the things it took me a while to notice since that transition happened, like as I was a kid. It's like, oh, it's no longer a matte painting. It's, has some digital background now.
It's done quite subtly, though. It's one of the most restraint editions, I feel like. And it does add to the stuff rather than just go, hey, look, new special effects, so put this on there, It goes back to what Ian Malcolm said. They spent so much time wondering if they could. They never stopped to think whether they should.
Yeah.
Yeah. I follow a guy on Facebook. He's working on making the despecialized edition, doing the best he can to create the highest quality of Star Wars, of the original trilogy, of how it was originally released. So it's kind of interesting since there's like no official place to go get those.
It's really hard to do though, because even back in '79, they re-released Star Wars and they changed it because they changed in '79. They added in the whole Episode 4: New Hope, and they made some changes to the sound mix as well. So there's so many different versions of it, and depending on when you grew up, you'll have a level of nostalgia or preference to a certain version. Like me, I always think of the '90s ones. Do I agree with all the changes? Because I'm aware I've watched the ones before that, the ones that were released in the '80s on VHS. No, but they're the ones that I think of. And then someone then, as much as I criticize them, who grew up with the DVD ones, will probably think the DVD ones are the true Star Wars to them, It's really difficult because there's been so many versions now. It's not a case of here's a director's cut versus the original cut, theatrical release, which is better,
Yeah. And this is something he's been working on since 2014, 2015.
Wow.
Basically, since Lucas was sold to Disney. Because that was about wasn't it? Was it 2013?
No, actually it was 2012 they bought it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he has a bunch of different sources. He was able to find an original 35 millimeter print of the films.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's it's a global project. A lot of people are helping him. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really, yeah.
That's going to be mega. I did make a comment about that actually last night, is when you were talking about titles there. One of my mates, the conductor said, "Now let's watch Star Wars." And I just turned around to my mate and went, "I hope not. I've come to see Episode 6, Return of the Jedi." I mean, we all know Episode 4 was originally pegged as just Star Wars. There was no Episode 4. There was no A New Hope or anything like that. It was just Star Wars originally.
Well, even when they released it as a special edition, it was still Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Even though it had A New Hope on screen, they still released it in cinemas. And on the VHS box set, it still said the first film was called Star Wars. It wasn't, I don't think, until the DVD release that they changed it to Episode 4: New Hope.
I want to say I remember seeing A New Hope on a VHS.
They probably did it on. I think it's the same time, because I remember they were primarily doing DVD releases, but I think the last VHS to get released in the UK, a new release, was Revenge of the Sith, because at that point they weren't really selling new VHSs. So there probably is a VHS of it that says A New Hope, but I think it came out at the same time as the DVD ones.
1995 is a VHS I see that says Star Wars really big and A New Hope really small.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, in terms of having A New Hope having preference over it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Because the special editions were still listed as Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, at least here in the UK anyway. So.
Yeah, because I had, or rather, my dad had the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition, the gold box set VHS.
Same, yeah, with Vader's face on it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking at an image of it now, and it says, it's got 3 titles of the film: Star Wars, then it's got Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still got that.
Wow. Someone is selling the special edition VHS for $1,700 on eBay.
Yeah, there's one guy here who's selling it for £399.
And that outer box,
£400.
I remember on a show over here called Dickinson's Real Deal, kind of like an Antiques Roadshow type thing. But a lot might not mean anything.
This guy's ridiculous. His is so beat up, and he's selling it for $1,700. And
It's
here's
got to be a
another,
joke listing.
yeah, and then someone here has a pristine condition one, and they have it listed for $30.
Well, the thing is, as I was going to say, is on this program, a guy brought in this Motorola phone that was like 20 years old at the time, and the guy was like, "Well, these were so common; they were pretty much everyone's first phone, and whilst technology they reckon will be the antiques of the future, this one was so mass market, and so many people have them in like their drawers, the bottom of their drawers in the house. It's not worth anything more than like a fiver." And the guy goes, "Oh, I've seen one on eBay for like $8,000." And he was like, "Yeah, but did it sell?" And he went, "Oh no, it's still on there now." And it's like, well, that's the point. It's not so much what people list it for; it's what it sells for.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on there and like take a shaving of my my facial hair and list that for $12,000. It doesn't mean it's worth $12,000.
I don't think anybody would pay $12,000 for that, mate. I'm sorry.
You would. I also got to say, I do love that light bar behind Space-Time. It's kind of mesmerizing.
Oh yeah.
It looks kind of nice, yeah.
I got some Amazon birthday money from my roommate. I decided to get a light thing.
That's cool.
A bunch of different settings. So
that's cool. I like it.
Can you do solid color?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking you could do solid color, put a handle on it, and you got
have a
yourself
lightsaber.
I already got one of those downstairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a toy lightsaber. I showed it in the TARDIS video.
Yeah. So,
I mean, the
recommendations I got off of that after buying that on eBay were ridiculous. I was like, I should not have done this. For a quick gag in a video, now I'm getting all this stuff recommended to me.
And it's funny because this past week, for some reason, YouTube thinks I'm really into the Titanic. So I've been getting all these Titanic videos. One I found was 9 years old, and it was pure gold. It was a special edition re-release of Titanic, obvious parody. So it was like doing like 4K, 4D cinema stuff, like splashing water at you, shooting a gun at you.
Yeah.
And then they said, with special help from George Lucas, and then there was just stormtroopers everywhere on the deck of the Titanic. and then also Michael Bay. And they added explosions to everything they could, like the ship cracking in half was a huge explosion.
Did they replace Kate Winslet with Megan Fox or something?
I don't think they went that far. And they had people jumping off the back of the ship, and as they hit the water, it was just a huge explosion. I'll share it in the Discord. It was pretty funny.
Oh, that's brilliant. So, Jacob did ask earlier, are you doing a Titanic stream tomorrow?
I am. I just needed to. I was rebranding a few things this week, so
nice.
I need to get it up and going. Get it scheduled noon tomorrow. So 7 UK. And I finished box 1 last week, just shy of 5 hours. So I expect it to be about the same for box 2, but we'll see. But yeah, I really wanted to get them all done last week, but it's like I got really drained during that one stream, and then I also realized, oh, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
And it's like
one might say that your momentum of doing the Titanic streams crashed.
It did. So,
did your motivation sink?
It is frozen solid. So I spent the past week because I've been working on some branding stuff for my channel, of stuff I want to be putting out every week, and I'm actually going to be filming something today. It's heavily inspired by BrickKeeper's Missing Pieces, where I just want to spend time every week just talking to the camera and get comfortable, just sharing a little bit. And it's just like something I want to do for at least a year. It's kind of like my year-long project, because I used to do those a lot, like in photography. Like I did a 365 photo challenge, took a picture every day, like went out in the wild or did something. And it's just, just something I want to do, and I think it's going to be good for the channel to get to know me better. So I've decided I'm titling it All of Time and Space.
Nice.
That's what we're going to talk about. Subject.
Well, the world's your oyster, really, isn't it?
Well, if you want to get to know Space-Time better, here's a little known fact that not many people know and he never talks about. He's from Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah?
You're bad news to me. I didn't know that.
I can't remember if I ever shared that. Like, should I put this up in my background?
That's cool.
But yeah, so I've been working on some artwork for that. I'm not exactly happy with it, but I'm just gonna go with it for now, and hopefully it evolves. I moved a lot of lights in here for streaming, and just having a better setup with my desk. So that's what I ended up working on throughout the week last week. So
cool.
Did you get any bargains with the Black Friday stuff going on?
Just locally. Bricks and Minifigs at 25% off all figures.
Nice.
So I got 5 CMFs. I got the College Graduate, the Buckingham Palace Guard, the Gladiator, Pink Space Police person, and what was the other one I got?
Oh, the Intergalactic Girl, I think her name is.
Yeah, I think that's what they call it.
I love that figure. That figure is so cool.
I think there was one more, but I can't think. I can't recall. And then the other, like, the certified brand, not a brand store, but a certified store, had a lot of great deals. And I got the Bad Batch shuttle for $10 off. And most of their big stuff was, like, kind of sold out because they opened up at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. And I was like, I'm not doing that.
Oh, no, I don't blame you.
So I was going to get Stranger Things, but they were sold out. They only had one copy there, but it was for a raffle prize. And you had to spend at least $200 to get entered into the raffle. And there was like 3 different tiers. So there was like all the really big prizes. You had to spend at least $500 to enter that raffle. And then $300 was the lower tier. And then $200 the lowest. And it's like, I just spent $80 there and got the Bad shuttle. And they also had Vader's meditation chamber for like $10 off. So I was trying to decide between those two, and I'm like, the only new figure in that one for me is just General Veers in his dress uniform, I guess I would say, instead of I really wish I know it's a cool sticker, but I really wish those were actually figures.
Honestly, I would say the sticker is the best part. And I hate saying this, but I think it must be the same graphic designer who did the Daily Bugle, because the Daily Bugle, I hate that the stickers, but the graphic design on that is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the picture of Johnny Jameson with the 3 guests on his talk show.
Yeah,
fantastic. And it's a very similar style, I think, with the screen on the meditation chamber.
You're probably absolutely right. And I can't remember if I have Admiral Piet or not. I have to go back and look because it's like all my Imperial officers are blurring together to me.
Yeah, they all got the same sort of uniform on, so I guess.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, they do a good job of putting the right insignias on, for rank.
Ooh, but they can't distinguish between Republic and Imperial logos on a gunship.
To be honest, I didn't even notice until someone pointed it out, because it's like all those logos are like 6-sided, hexagon themed.
I think the idea is that it's supposed to be that the Imperial insignia emerged out of the Republic one that was formed during the war, because I don't think that Republic one is meant to have been pre-Clone Wars, because I remember when all the Phantom Menace stuff came out and they had a Republic logo, it was a symbol that was closer to the Rebel Alliance logo from the original trilogy.
Okay.
So,
and it was always the leaf pattern was always the Jedi Order, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember that there was a whole thing as well when Attack of the Clones, before it came out, one of the first sort of like toys that was revealed was Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter, and everyone was freaking out because they thought that it was the Imperial logo on the wing, and they were like, "What the hell?"
Okay.
So I can see, like, how, no disrespect, but a civilian like you and me can make that mistake. But when something is going through those layers of checks and having to get approval from different, people in Lucasfilm and Lego and stuff like that, how it gets to the final product and has that kind of monumental cock up is beyond me.
I think it's just level 1 trolling.
Do you think they did it just to wind Ryan up?
Some of the things they're doing, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, okay, we're done dealing with you, so we're gonna have as much fun as we can. I don't know. And okay, so like I like the guy, but watching his video yesterday for like 2021 like set rumors, I was like, this is how you generate disappointment. Because he was making all these assumptions and being upset at the assumptions, and I'm like, and then once you make this your talking point, then the whole entire your community starts reinforcing it as fact, and then when it comes out and it's not what you wanted, and then you get really upset, and it's like, where did this all start though? It's like, I feel like it's like a feedback loop,
Yeah, I haven't watched Ryan's latest video. I'll be honest, I'm really behind. Like I think I mentioned before, I used to always keep up to date on, my friends' videos like in that group, and I can't even guarantee that now. So I'll try and watch them. I think I had on the background his Ask Emnar, was it 200th episode where we had video clips. I watched that one because I had on the background whilst I was working. I was like, looking up every now and again, but I was listening to it, and that was good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's no disrespect, but it's like, because he was talking about the figure packs coming out next year, supposedly.
Oh, okay.
And one of them is supposed to be clones, and it looks like it's going to be Phase 1 clones. And then he started asserting it's like, why isn't it Phase 2 Cody? This is what the community wants. And it's like, and I'm like, well, let's back this up 6 months to a year. This is what you wanted, and then you repeated it enough that enough people in the community are like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really entertain rumor videos or...
Well, do you know what? My Ghostbusters Afterlife set speculation video from last year is doing fantastic right now. It was made like back in March, I think, 2020.
Yeah, and I mean, rumor videos are fine, but to get upset that it's when the actual product comes out, it's not what you wanted, and you said, "Oh, well, I expressed this a year ago, and they should have done what the fans wanted," and it's like, I don't know.
That was actually quite a good impression. The way you did it. No, my particularly my Afterlife video, basically, it was just going off the back of the rumor, which a few different people told me, and also I heard of other people who had it from their sources that we were going to get 4 Ghostbuster Lego sets, and whether that included the Afterlife Ecto, I don't know. I did I say speculation. It was speculation, but also kind of like, what I would like to see. It was never meant to be, this is what is coming, or this is what Lego should do. We only had the trailer back then as well, so I was just kind of guessing. But it's weird how many people, we all heard the same thing about us getting 4 Lego Ghostbuster sets, and that turned out to be not the case. I mean, one of the things that led credence to it was the third wave of Lego Inside, because I did get told from other people that the reason we got that third wave, which kind of felt weird because it was almost starting a new mythology, a new chapter, even though at that point we knew Inside was winding down, was because it was kind of like almost a gap filler because the Lego Ghostbuster stuff was being delayed a year for the film release.
Yeah, and
So it would have made sense then, but
And we'll never know what the internal logic was. But it could have just been like, oh, the film's been delayed for a year. We were only planning on just doing something small like Minions or something. And it's like, is it even worth us producing now for us to move on to the next thing? You know?
yeah, maybe. I definitely feel it's a disappointment. I've also Playmobil had a sale on, and they had the sale on the Ghostbusters Firehouse and the Ecto One. And I said a while back I was a bit surprised to see that they hadn't done any Afterlife stuff, and I suspected it might be because Hasbro snagged an exclusive license, maybe, or at least some license to stop Playmobil or whatever. And I feel like we've got some confirmation of that because people have been sharing on different Ghostbuster groups that on, I think it's on Playmobil's Instagram or something, or on the Facebook. Someone said, like, when is the Ghostbusters Afterlife, stuff coming out? Because they did Ghostbusters 1, they did Ghostbusters 2, they even did the real Ghostbusters. They did a lot of stuff, and it was, really successful for them. And they said that, sadly, we no longer have the Ghostbusters license. Because the last one they did, new Ghostbusters Playmobil, was like this play set, which was like a little mini briefcase that opened up into this lab, and it had Venkman and Slimer. And I remember the original listing of that was called Spengler's Lab, and I haven't seen the first Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. Everyone assumed it was going to be that lab that you see Phoebe with. And I wonder if they had to retool that to be based on the original movies because they were told, hey, you're not doing Afterlife stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to see Ghostbusters.com. It looks like they have some Playmobil stuff. And it looks like they're mostly selling the Marshmallow Men.
Yeah, they're still kind of out there, but apparently they're not doing any new stuff now. That was it. They've lost the license. But of course, it was never really an exclusive license anyway, because during the time that they were turning out, this stuff, we did get the Peter Venkman and Slimer Brickhead, and obviously the Ghostbusters Afterlife Creator Expert Ecto One. But it just goes to show that Playmobil, had this license for so many years, and it was successful enough to them to keep on doing stuff. They were proper looking, what can we do next? They did both movies, and then to do the real Ghostbusters, is a deep cut. Yeah. And yet Lego can't seem to give us, a couple of minifigure sets based on the new film, whatever.
And the other thing we have to think about is that Lego is like, how many different design teams are there? And really, they have to pick and choose what they want to do because it's like every movie.
That's the same with everything, though. Do you know what I mean? The Playmobil are obviously going to have that, and they probably have less resources than Lego.
Right. No, I totally get that. And it's just like Playmobil chose to, hey, we want to do Ghostbuster stuff. And I don't know what Lego's, I don't know. It's all speculation that we can't figure out,
Yeah. But it's frustrating when there are themes that I know people have been wishing for in Lego. And, one of the arguments I often hear from people is, oh, it wouldn't sell very well. And it's like, really? When Playmobil has made it sell well, and Playmobil is nowhere near as popular as Lego. And I've seen videos not just with myself having this from mind, but other collectors where they're like, I've got this Ghostbusters Playmobil, I've got this Scooby-Doo Playmobil, or I've got the A-Team Playmobil set. Mm-hmm. And I got it because I love the license, but I would so much prefer this to be Lego, And it's just bizarre because there obviously is a market for it because otherwise they wouldn't be making them. And with Ghostbusters, there's definitely the argument that they would sell because the fact that they did, I think, was it 4, almost 5 years worth of stuff? I mean, They literally did both the movies and the cartoon series. A cartoon series that was, at that point, 30 years old.
Oh, looks like my Ecto One sitting at the front door.
Ooh.
You
should go get it before Porch Pirates arrive.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not at my front door. It's at my back door. I have them drop it off back there, so they have to go through a gate. But I'll still go get it.
The lies just keep on coming with you, Space Time.
Yeah, the lies. I lied. I lied too much.
Deception.
We were just talking about like the Playmobil stuff and about how they made Ghostbusters work as a theme. Why couldn't Lego?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a subject we've all been on before. Is Lego just? I don't think it's just Ghostbusters.
Well, Scooby Doo. I mean, I know. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the thing. I constantly have being told this narrative from my American YouTube buddies, and I'm not saying they're lying, but I'm wondering if it is only just one side of it, where Scooby Doo failed. Now, it's all like Space Time is dead, right? We can only speculate because Lego is so cagey with stuff like actual sales figures. Even when they say their best themes, they're kind of like very vague about it. But the story goes that it did so badly that they never wanted to do any more Lego. The problems I have with that, as well as the people who are saying that it went on sale in America, in the UK, it never went on sale. And in fact, like the Mystery Machine, it's that set in particular, it used to keep on selling out everywhere. And I remember going into our Lego store, and they told us that they were told originally that it was going to be a one and done theme that would last like 8 to 10 months. And they had it on shelves for 2 years, and it kept on getting restocked because it kept on selling. So, and of course, we had two DVD movies. One came out over a year after the theme launched. Now, I know they take time to develop, but wouldn't they pull the plug on that, mid-production, if it was like going to be a loss?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. It's weird. It is weird, and again, we can only speculate. But Playmobil definitely, I think they still are making stuff based on Scooby-Doo. I don't know if they're doing any new sets, but they've announced a third series of like the blind pack figures.
So good call, Sam, because the driver was too lazy and just left it at the front door.
Oh,
you're welcome, buddy.
So we got the Sanctuary 2.
Nice. It needs to be bigger.
I was thinking that. It looks a bit smaller.
Yeah, I'm gonna build this one, see how it looks, and then I'm probably gonna buy a second one to expand it.
Good man.
And I got a second one of these.
Oh yes.
I'm building a what do you call it? A diorama of the end game battle again.
Oh yeah.
I had one from 2 years ago that was a bit amateurish, and I want to make this one look better.
That sounds cool.
Stanley's front yard.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that gift for promo.
So
I think we've got that. You got your tin sign, excellent.
Which, as Brickstar pointed out, has no way like of holding it to the wall or fixing it. There's no hooks or anything built into it, anything.
Yeah.
Correct. I've sat there the other day going, how am I putting it?
I use paneling nails, so a paneling nail will be able to catch that lip.
Yeah, but it's not really ideal.
You're absolutely right, because it's seriously,
Lego.
it's a tin
You can
cover.
tell Space Time is trying to get into the land still, can't you?
I was just about to point out, it's literally a tin cover that did not come with the tin.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, just think, you could have had all that stuff, and then the whole reason, here she is.
Oh, look at that
Yes.
beauty.
Yes, well done, Space Time.
Yeah, I just had I've wanted this for the past year. It just kept getting out of stock. And then with the rumors of the DeLorean, I'm like, I got to get this one because Batmobile, this, and DeLorean are going to be perfect next to each other.
Yeah. I mean, the
Definitely.
Batmobile technically is kind of like a different scale because it's like a UCS, whereas the Actor one's Creator Expert, but I still think they look good together. I haven't put mine two together in different rooms, different floors even, but I would also love to add to that a Knight Rider and an 18 van and a Mystery Machine. And that's it.
Yeah. I mean,
You've only got small dreams.
that would just round out the 80s.
Yeah, well, that's the best decade, right?
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Speaking of 80s, I know we've all seen Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think on my server I've said about a embargo. I've suggested an embargo until December 1st.
Yeah.
Is that true here as well, or can we talk about it? Or
Well,
next week, is it?
Anybody? Yeah, sorry, let's do it next week.
Okay, because hopefully I will have seen it a third time by then.
So you'll be fully clued up and ready to.
Mate, I noticed stuff the second time I didn't notice the first time.
It's always the way.
And one error that I thought was an error isn't an error at all. The other thing is, I listened out from what Spacetime said. Remember, Spacetime said he thought there was too much of the old score used.
Yeah.
And I didn't agree with that, but he did make me think about it. And then I went into the second movie, and actually, there's less used than what I originally thought. And I've now been listening to the playlist of the score, and it's surprising how. I know I've seen people comment like, "Oh, do they just take parts from the original score and put it in there?" But really, they're all like sort of redone, or they're used as musical cues. I would liken it to how John Williams does it himself with the Star Wars films, where you'll hear some of the same riffs and themes coming, from New Hope to Empire to Jedi, but it's different music each film. That's how I would liken it almost to.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, John Williams, that hack.
Yeah, but that kind of thing. That's what I would liken it to. And definitely they've used a lot of the same themes and.
And it could have just been my theater going experience, because there's a lot of times where I feel like in theater the soundtrack is not mixed properly. It just overpowers dialogue and everything. And I don't know if that's just how, because I'm assuming like a modern theater can mix the channels somewhat differently. I'm assuming they just don't get one audio stream.
I mean, this is the thing that I wanted to say, is that I can completely relate to that, because the first time I saw Force Awakens, we saw it in the cinema, and it was in the screen. That I remember saying that I'm not very keen on it. There was something about the screen that when we used to go to that multiplex, that I just wasn't happy with. And I remember coming out of it going, well, the score was a bit underwhelming. And then when I went and saw it in a different screen, I thought the score, and I still do think the score to The Force Awakens is one of the best Star Wars scores. But the first time, it barely registered because maybe of the mixing or the speaker setup or whatever. I've seen Ghostbusters the 2 times I've seen it in the IMAX in Cardiff Bay. And it's not so much the picture, but the audio mixing in that. The audio in that is so distinct to me. And when you hear those familiar sounds that are the proton pack and stuff, and the new sound effects, oh my word, they are sublime in this screen. I almost don't want to watch the film in any other setup than this one. But the thing is, when you said it though, I disagree with you. But you did. It was enough of a valid point that it made me think about it, and I listened out for it the second time, and that was when I kind of felt like, oh, actually, there's less to it than what you might think at first viewing or listening, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I've put the CD on my Christmas wish list as well. So I do think the Ghostbusters 2 score is underrated. It's nowhere near as iconic as the first one, but it's not the travesty that some people make out to be. There's like this big divide in the Ghostbusters fandom of whether the Ghostbusters score is terrible or those who love it and petition for years to have it released. And I think it was start of this year it finally got released, I think, as a separate score. Because previously people were just ripping it off the movie.
Okay.
Totally unrelated, but can Xbox Series X play with Xbox One on Xbox Live?
Yes.
I was just thinking we should do some gaming sometime.
Sure.
I'm not sure what games you have that are multiplayer. We have a party game called Overcooked. Have you ever heard of that?
Is that the one where you go prepare food like in the diner or something? Yeah. The first time I saw that was on a show called Go 8-Bit, where it was basically like a 70-panel challenge show, but they would do about video games.
Mm-hmm.
Great show, that.
And I know it got cancelled after Series 3, didn't there?
I know, it was... I don't think people got it or were behind it. I know it had a good following, but...
No one knew it existed. I would talk about it. People were like, that sounds really cool. When did that start? And I'm like, it finished like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, no one watched it.
That's it.
I don't know who would put rust stickers on this set.
We haven't. Me and Sam said that. And it's not so much that I don't want to see the actor one rusted up, because it makes sense in the context of the movie. But those rust stickers look awful.
Yeah, they just don't.
They don't work at all.
They look like mud.
I was disappointed that the Actor One license plate is a sticker, but in all fairness, once you put it on, you can't tell. It is a clear black sticker, but it's small enough that you don't get any bubbles if you do it carefully.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, they make such a big deal of, hey, we printed this giant No Ghost logo on this brick for you. It's like you couldn't print a little tile with the Ecto 1 license plate.
Exactly. I mean, it's not a massive tile.
And is that a 2x4 tile for the license plate?
Yeah, yellow
Yes.
2x4 tile.
Yeah.
It's funny. Just like,
Mrs. Crackle says that the game you're on about might be on Game Pass. So we've got Game Pass. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I have Game Pass as well. I just signed up for it again because we went to go play Jackbox, and apparently you need a Xbox Live subscription to play Jackbox.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, you can't do anything on the internet on the Xbox. So, and then because I even have the Xbox whatever thing on my computer, so I got because I have the Halo collection on PC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the missus is currently playing the beta version of the Halo Infinite multiplayer, and I was really surprised that there's actually achievements for it. I thought that was pretty decent. But the only thing that concerns me is that, from what I've seen, it looks like they're gonna be adopting the Fortnite format of there being seasons, and you get a battle pass, and you only get unlockables if you've got the battle pass. Otherwise, you just get like some half-baked freebies, you know.
See, I'm really far behind because I don't think I've played Halo 4.
Halo 4 was disappointing, but it was okay. Halo 5 is when the wheels really fell off and you realized that these guys weren't Bungie.
I liked 4. I thought 4 was okay.
Does Cortana die in 4?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I played that one. I definitely haven't played 5 then.
The thing with 4 that I had a problem with, and I think I've mentioned this to you before, Sam, maybe on a private call, but the end of 3 sets it up that, they defeated, the threat there. They were lost in space. They said it's going to be about 90 years or so, I can't remember the exact number, until they reach basically human inhabited space. And Master Chief is going to be put in cryo. Cortana said she'd stay awake to look after him, but her lifespan would probably be gone by the time he wakes up.
Yeah.
Then you had that trailer when Cortana wakes Chief up and his ship is being destroyed, and there's basically like a giant Death Star in it, right? I remember like they were saying Master Chief is on the other side of the known universe. He's drifted off track. There's going to be new enemies, new allies, and it's going to be a whole new chapter in the Halo story. We're not going to try and redo 1 to 3. We're going to tell a new story. And I was like, okay, I'm down with this. And within like the first 2 minutes, you go inside that giant Death Star thing, and it's just another Halo ring, pretty much, but a sphere rather than a ring. And look, there's the Covenant, and there's even US Marines as well, UNCS Marines. It's like it just felt like they had no originality. They did bring in the Prometheans, but they weren't really that cool. They were kind of like
they were just a pain in the backside. They just kept getting in the way.
Yeah, it just felt like to me that they just fell back on the tried and tested format. I mean, the opening level when you're there and you're defeating Covenant and then helping Marines who have also crashed, it could easily be the first level of Halo 1.
Yeah.
I was just so disappointed that it wasn't. I was expecting it to be brand new set of baddies, and like he was going to have to form new alliances with new civilizations, and it would be him like he'd be the only human or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
That would have been so cool and so different. But instead, we just got a retread. And then Halo 5, then Guardians, is the one where the marketing campaign advertised a completely different game to what we got.
That's the one that where. Isn't that the one where you play as different characters?
Yeah, but the marketing was like basically showing that it was going to be like a 2-sided campaign, and your choices would affect the outcome and stuff. And it was going to be Master Chief versus this other guy.
Yeah,
and then like in the actual game, they have one sort of scuffle, and then the rest of the time they're allies.
Yeah, because I think I got up to the campaign on 5. I think I got up to the part where they had the scuffle, and that was it.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
I sent you my gamer tag on Discord. I'm not if you want to add me, you can. But if I'm not sure if you wanted to share your tag.
No worries. I'll pass over to the missus. I don't know if she's on Xbox now, but she's downstairs. So there you go. Oh, and I got Oh God, is that really yours?
I said don't.
You said don't laugh.
Mate, you can't undo choices you made as a young teenager. Yeah, you know when my uncle said, I distinctly remember it at the time. My uncle said to me when I had the original Xbox and I got Xbox Live, and he said to me, he goes, make sure you pick a good username, because once you picked it, you can't change it. You know, this will stick with you for life. Here we are.
I mean, just confirm, this is a Sam Jones live stream. So what I'm going to say right now is basically, I would say R-rated in the US, but it is funny. I wanted to also point out that it wasn't me, but I worked for a company once, and I'll omit the last part of the email. I'll change it actually, but basically, we had to ask customers their email as part of identification verification on the phones.
Yeah.
And I had to ask someone to tell me their email, and they said it without even the slightest bit of embarrassment in their voice. Yummy Mummy Loves Cummy 69 at hotmail.com. Imagine calling up your gas and electricity supplier and saying that to the person on the phone and not even being the slightest bit shamed, you know?
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
I can see Space-Time cringe when I said that, but I felt like it was kind of relevant too.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
That is amazing.
I was like, how can I get around this? I know I have to ask her for an email address. It's the thing one thing we have to do, that and the name, you know. Other stuff we can pick different things, you know, but that we had to ask. And I was waiting for her to sort of like either cringe or make a joke or about it, but no.
I gotta say, fair play to whoever that was for going straight at it. You know,
I should say I have changed the last part, the numbers and the last part of the email, but the words are correct. Yeah, I actually remember the email address, like, because it stuck with me, and I don't want them getting unsolicited email. They're still using that address. Mrs. Crackle says you can change Xbox gamer tags now, even, but it might be just once though.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? I've had that for so long. I don't know what I change it to.
The BrickKeeper?
Nah, see, because then
I think you can, because I changed mine, because when I was going to start going live playing Rocket League with Brickatect and Gymblade, I didn't want everyone knowing, like, my real name was in my gamer tag, I think, or an alias I used somewhere else. I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, we changed it to cut the yeah.
We have a late. See, I knew I was right to keep the title of Return of the Joe, because
Return of the Joe.
It's taken him an hour and 53 minutes.
We're ending in 7 minutes, aren't we?
To rock up, but he's here. It's Joe Chambers.
Oh my word!
What's up, all you glorious Lego nerds?
It's a different angle. I'm so confused now. My whole world is shaken.
Hang on a sec. Yeah, have you moved?
It is a different angle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been moving things around.
Joe, I've seen a whole new side to you.
Oh, you've seen a whole new side to my room, huh?
It looks smaller now.
Did you take my advice?
About what?
Well, Sam said you had some unexpected family arrive, and I said that he should say, look, you're too late for Thanksgiving, you're too early for Christmas, now sod off.
No, sod off. Sod off is not a term we use in the States, but I want to start using it more. How about that?
You have our
it was my brother-in-law, Tom, and their son goes and distracts my son, so it's all good.
Oh, fair play.
This is the arrangement, how do I put it? The producers wanted my room in.
Oh, you're being produced.
The thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
They wanted to emphasize the fact that my brother-in-law and I used to be in a band together.
But
So,
then
like,
also wanted to emphasize all that Saturn V stuff over the other side.
yes, yeah. So they wanted some of it, but not all of it.
I mean, you could have snuck Black Arrow in there in the corner, man. Just,
I mean, I picked up my camera and I scanned around and I showed them, and
I'm very confused. Producers, are you a film star now?
he could be.
I mean, you were in X-Men, but you didn't really do much after that, did you? So
no, no, I'm allowed to say. I'm sorry. I'm just being coy.
Oh,
Predator
But-
has joined us.
That is good. You now have a detection system. You can see who is coming in behind you.
Who's coming in? Yeah. No, Craggle. I was invited to audition for Brickmasters or Lego Masters.
oh, nice.
Yeah, and so my brother-in-law and I kind of doing a audition the other day.
So that's still going then in the States then.
sadly.
Yes, sadly, and it would be cool to do it, but I also don't know if I want to do it, just because of my anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Now,
We'll
if it
see
was
how
a
it
UK
goes.
version, I would be like, dude, like grow a pair and get on there. But the American one, I can see that, I'm gutted that the one version that seems to have been cancelled was the best.
Because
Oh, really?
you see how they're trying to fabricate his story, and it's just that just turns me off so much.
It's like the last time my brother-in-law we were in a band together was like 10 years ago, and it's like they want us to emphasize that, and I'm like, okay.
See, the UK one felt much more like a documentary fly on the wall series. Like, I don't know if does the US one have any audience input?
I don't know.
Like,
I
do
don't
vote?
watch it.
I don't know, but the US one, from what I saw, it felt more like one of those reality sort of like American Idol type shows,
Yeah.
where everyone's got a sob story and and they have like these random guest stars on there that burst through walls and stuff. It's just
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I'm not
to
saying
say.
this because I'm slagging off the American one just for the sake of it. I just feel like they kind of took the format and they had something special and ruined it. And to be fair, they were already halfway there because the Australian one I can tolerate, but that was kind of taking it halfway to the point where it was like, let's hear all about the person's sub story and stuff like that, as opposed to how good they are at brick building.
You can tolerate the Australian one?
I've never watched the full episode through. I've watched the clips on YouTube.
I always get confused with the Australian show because like all their builds are upside down. they never do stats. They never do stats on top. It's always stats on bottom.
Oh dear.
The one thing that caught me off guard was when I watched the first clip of the Australian one and they swear on it. I'm just like, what? I was like, well, I guess it's Australian, but it just caught me off guard that a Lego show,
There we go.
officially sort of like endorsed one. But what's his face? I forgot his name now. Oh, he's like one of the head of Lego design. He's the guy who did the Everyone is Awesome sets.
Yeah, Matthew Ashton.
Matthew Ashton, yeah. Apparently he was asked about Lego Masters Series 3 in the UK, and he pretty much said, like, unfortunately, the Channel 4 have decided not to go ahead with it, it was on Channel 4 in the UK.
Yeah.
I feel like it would do well on Dave, personally. I feel like if Dave picked it up, it would do really well on there.
Dave would be all over it, mate.
But then funny enough, Dave lost Taskmaster to Channel 4, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that was their original one. And Taskmaster has been sold across the world now. The format.
What is Taskmaster?
It's like basically this show where they gather a bunch of comedians and this guy gives them these really stupid task to complete, and it's like how they go about doing it. Like they're either really stupid or really sort of just difficult and improbable ones.
Okay.
It's stuff like you've got to fill that bath with water, but you can't use a bucket or a hose. Sort of
Okay.
thing.
Oh, the tap, yeah, like
Yeah.
One of them was you had to get like this egg around a golf course in as few strokes as possible, and it's like and in the quickest time possible. And you get penalties for broken eggs, and there's like someone's like, well, do I waste the time to go and boil them? You know, someone was like, do I just do really soft strokes? Someone just like, do I just chance it and like whack it and hope that the remains land in the hole or something? You know.
Looks like we have a Falcon under construction.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we do.
Ah, he's opened
Wow.
it.
I can't
I
believe
finally
it.
decided
On
to
a
go for
public
it.
on a public stream, Joe, and you've got pussy on your lap.
Oh my goodness, yes. Hey, so I am experimenting with this new setup. I mean, can you hear me okay? If I'm doing
sorry. I just
Yeah,
knew that Sam would never forgive me if I didn't make that joke.
Yeah, and I'd honestly be disappointed if you didn't make some kind of pussy
Giving
joke.
you for not making it.
Oh, she's a gorgeous kitty, though. Is it she or
This is Keats, named after the 19th century British romantic poet. But he is a devil worshiper, and he will bite you and bleed you if he feels so. No, he is a very good cat.
Oh,
yeah.
And now wants to leave, but it's sat there going, "You sealed me in."
Yeah. He's gotten soft in his old age. What was that?
I bet you, if you got up and opened the door, the cat would not leave. The cat would just look at you.
He would. Yes. Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yep. And Keats is a sign that
Major
that the good die young, but jerks live forever. Because we had this 20-pound. Look at him go. We had this 20-pound orange tabby named Byron, who was just the sweetest cat ever, and he up and died, and then the jerk just decided to live on forever. So, well, we love him because now he's old and all he wants to do is sit on our laps.
Yeah, I am hearing it. We got a little bit of an echo going on.
I do.
I think it's Draggle.
Echo.
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 Why have I started echoing now? I don't
I
get
don't know,
that.
man. Probably because you were talking smack about my kitty cat.
No, it's because Joe turned up. My mic is swooning. I can't take it.
Oh.
It's like, oh my word, it's Joe Chambers.
So, are you? Is this you're working on the Titanic right now?
No, that'll be tomorrow.
I don't think anyone is working on anything. I think you're the first person to snap some bricks together on this stream.
I just been doing stuff in Photoshop.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't. I had some jack and potato, and I've been talking to Sam. Oh, and yeah, this guy called Spacetime as well.
I haven't really been designing anything tonight, mainly because I want to host a show and talk to my friends. But
okay.
At the same time, I've disassembled and started rebuilding Black Arrow, Joe.
Why?
Why? Right.
But why though?
Why? Somebody, not naming any names, or maybe two people, said it would be a really good idea if I did a video of Black Arrow and or some of my prop mocks and showing them off and all that. I thought that's a cool idea. But then I suddenly realized that if I was going to do such a thing, the first thing I better do is actually make sure that my mock resembles what's in the instructions.
Uh-oh.
Which obviously my Black Arrow didn't at the time because it was a fudged together set to make sure that it goes, let's just make sure this all goes together in a rough idea to make sure that what Joe's telling me is not stupid. And
generally ill-advised.
Yeah, and now I'm just like, well, I'm missing a load of parts, so I've had to just stop and order a load of parts.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that was happened to me though when you sent me the UCS TARDIS to build the first time, and I was starting to realize that some of the parts that were in the instructions weren't there, and you were like, "Oh yeah, because that's the original TARDIS mock, and I've since updated the instructions to improve it."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, thanks for that, Sam."
yeah. Welcome, mate.
It was almost as bad as I've sorted it for you by color.
Again, you are welcome. All these things I do for you.
Sounds like a Bryan Adams song.
I mean, look at this. Can you look at that and say, "Oh yeah, that's going to be the famous starship that did the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs"?
No, that one looks about 20 parsecs.
Yeah.
To me, at that point, the M thing kind of looks like those ones off Tron. You know?
Oh,
those-
yeah,
you know?
The recognizer.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's still an echo. I don't know what's happened. I've moved the mic away. And I've turned my volume down. So
You know what, Craggle? As with usual, it's probably a personal problem.
I've missed you, Joe. How was your holiday?
I've missed me too. I have been, I don't know if you can tell by my voice, I've been aggressively sick over the past few days.
yeah, I'm not feeling too hot.
Yeah.
Seems to be a running theme at the moment for people on this stream.
I've been, it's been, I think it's allergies, but I don't know. Seriously, Lego, where did you get these ideas from? This is so weird.
Come on now, you're a Lego Masters possible contestant. You should be up to speed with all the latest brick building techniques.
I know, right? Like, I mean, what are they expecting from me? I take months to design my things. And they're just like, "Oh yeah, we want you on a show where you have like 4 hours to build something." And I'm like, this is why I don't want to do it.
Yeah, but you know, it's the American version, so they can just edit like 40 hours into 4 hours.
Yeah, seriously.
You just sit there and you can just go, "I've designed something. I've stacked 2 bricks on top of something else."
Wouldn't it be funny though if someone went through the whole process to get on the show, like made out they were really, really good, you know, and done all the tests, got on there, and then when they got on the show, they just built the most simplest, like, you know, a stack of 4 bricks, so like, this is it, you know, and refuse to build anything else. Like, what would the makers of the show do in that case?
I don't know. But our friend, our poor friend Scott, he told me the story of what happened, Peter.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I think
I can't hear you,
Space was
bud.
muted.
Yeah, it's a sad one.
It's a sad one.
Is there something we can talk about on stream, or?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Then never mind then.
Oh man, you tease.
Okay, just forget I said anything. Well, I mean, again, when you're speaking to me, generally advisable. If I've said something, just forget about it.
It never happened.
Just
Yeah, you have to sign. You have to sign an NDA when you talk to Joe Chambers.
not for my protection.
For our
No. It's nothing about what I'm saying. It's about what you're remembering. You're not signing an NDA. You're signing I promise I will not take anything Joe says to heart. I will not do it in real life.
Well, see, I don't know. I've taken a lot of things you've said recently to heart, Joe.
Oh boy, how's your life going, man? Is it like?
I mean, I would, but
Actually,
I don't
no,
have
it's
a
gone
heart.
up.
What was that?
I said I would, but I don't have a heart.
Do the Welsh just not have hearts? Is that?
No, it's just me. I'm just a bastard.
That's just the best.
No comment.
No comment.
Absolutely no comment at all.
I'm serious, guys. I need to come. I need to come visit Wales and England and just go to a good old pub with you guys.
Sounds good.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about being a burger? I think that would be good.
Beer,
What was that?
burger. Find somewhere to do some.
I say that though. I've after my honeymoon, I haven't drunk again, and that was like the first time I drunk at my wedding. Was like the first time in like 2, almost 3 years.
Oh,
I just not been drunk. I met up with a mate for being a burger. We both had soft drinks, so
okay.
I have got some nice pineapple cider though that I got from my honeymoon that I'm gonna have over Christmas. Just relax. But
Pineapple
the idea
cider.
of getting drunk, I think, just fills me with dread now at this point in my life.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you guys what happened when my wife and I went on our cruise this year?
No.
No.
I think you just told me.
Yeah. Okay. So we're both relatively new to drinking, and we said, okay, we're on this cruise. We're in a safe place. Let's just get trashed. Let's just see what it's like to get. Yeah, we made some good friends. Okay.
Wait,
This is
how
how
did you
drunk
get
I
to
got.
the age that you are, being relatively new to drinking?
Oh yeah, there's a story behind that. I don't want to get into it right now.
Oh, okay. that's for another stream.
let's just say I grew up in a religious institution that I'm no longer a part of.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so this is how drunk I got. I got to the wait level of drinking.
Oh dear.
Hold on. Wait. I have to wait. Hold on. Anyway, I got alcohol poisoning the next day and just barfed all over the breakfast buffet.
Honestly,
So-
once you hit 33, do not get drunk. I would say even younger than that, but 33 is the absolute limit.
I'm 39.
Well, you're screwed, mate.
I'm screwed.
You missed
So anyway-
your window.
Yeah, I had my experience. I know now.
And I'll tell you what, getting drunk at sea is not good. I got drunk on a ferry once when we went on a stag do, and when we hit rough waters, the floor was going one way, I was going another. This wall came out of nowhere. I ducked and dived. He hit me with a left hook. I was on the floor.
Oh no.
This wall, man. This wall threw a mean left hook.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Craggle flattened by a wall.
You try doing it. Like, it's hard when those ferries hit rough water. They move, and it's weird because when you're inside, it looks like you're just in a room. Like it could be on ground.
Uh-huh.
So that you don't, and then when it's moving, it's the weirdest sensation. And then of course, when you're drunk as well, that is not happening. Well, the best meal I should have done is just sat cross-legged on the floor and stayed there the night rather than try and get to my room.
See, the difference is I was on a cruise where you're supposed to get drunk. You're supposed to have fun. You were on a ferry where it's
it was a stag
you're
do.
going somewhere.
Yeah, we was an overnight ferry, and we were on a stag do or a bachelor party, as you would say in the States. So
Okay. Wait, what did you call it?
a stag do.
Okay. That's an interesting one. Okay.
So yeah, we were supposed to get. But the thing is, I always find it funny how the Americans refer to these cruises as being a place to go drunk and go on holiday, whereas in the UK, cruises are kind of reserved for those who are, already reserving their spot in God's waiting room.
Well,
It's no people's holiday.
it's not much difference depending on the cruise line you use. Like we went on a Holland America cruise a few years ago. I was oh wow, everyone here is about to die. Oh, it's a good thing I brushed up on my CPR. Jeez.
Jeez.
I mean, I might have to save a couple lives, but I think maybe after the third one, I'm just gonna let him go.
You know, I heard that most cruises don't even have a proper gift shop. They just have like a funeral directors.
No, they don't have a gift shop. They have a jewelry store is what they have.
Jewelry store. Wow.
Yeah, they'll ring you.
It is a weird cultural difference thing though, because
What's
I don't
that?
know. Like I've heard so many YouTubers over in the States who are relatively young. I mean, even Ryan of NM Productions is always going on about want to go on a cruise, and I'm like, oh yeah, over here, if you're going on a cruise, then basically you're already fighting for your free bus pass.
There's definitely more of a wider demographic of people who go on cruises here because they go places like in South America where you go see some Mayan ruins. You know, you're doing
any
interesting
excuse not to fly overseas, right?
Oh. Now you're talking to a weird American who's been all over the place. I would gladly go overseas, but you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware of the stereotypes and which ones are mostly true.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying this before. I was talking to someone, and it was in a group of people who I was comfortable talking with because I knew my personality. They had similar sense of humor, but this one person, I don't know why. I mean, I didn't know them that well, but I thought they were kind of within the same group. That they were like a friend of a friend. They took issue and like, all you're doing is like joking about stereotypes, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm aware that not everyone fits into that category. It's a generalization. Yeah. It's a stereotype. I'm making light. As you said, I'm joking around, and they just took offense. And it wasn't even anything bad. I think it was just something about like British people on holiday in Europe or something. Like about it's a fight between us and the Germans putting the towels on the sunbeds and stuff, you know. If you ever go on holiday in Spain or Greece, honestly, right, they have the sunbeds around the pool, and it's always the British and the Germans who can get up earliest to put the towels on them to reserve them, you know.
Amen. I agree with that.
It's true, isn't it? I've never done it because I don't like sitting on the sunbeds. I'm either in the pool or I'm going to be under a parasol or something. I'm going to be, out doing something. But yeah, it is something that you can witness. You look over your balcony and you see them doing it.
Yeah.
And no one ever confronts anyone about it. There's never any sort of actual person-on-person confrontation. They're waiting till the person goes and then they chuck the towel in the pool or something, you know?
Well, if there's two peoples in the world that I think passive aggressiveness when I think of them, it's the Brits and the Germans.
I would tend to agree.
Where the Brits are like, what's this then? And the Germans are like, was ist das? Mm?
So, Sam and Craggle, I sent you a thumbnail proposal for my new thing.
Oh, okay.
Joe, we need to get you on Discord.
Okay. What is Discord?
It's a place where magical things happen.
Okay.
Basically, it's an application that allows you to create communities and stuff like that, and have servers where you can talk about whatever you want to talk about and stuff like that. You'll be glad to know that there is.
I have some feedback. Do you want me to give it to you over the stream, or do you want me to send you a message? Or
I mean, as long as it's constructive, I guess it's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. The only thing I would say is just from a glance, I would think that was like a science-based thing.
Yeah.
Like if I was to see that, I would think it's about like the Big Bang and stuff like that.
So that's just the episode title. I can
but like with
come up with a better like intro thing.
Yeah, with the image that you've got on the right, the name of the actual podcast, which I get makes sense because obviously your username. But with that, and if I was to see that, I would think, oh, this is going to be a science like podcast or something talking about like physics and Big Bang. That was the only thing. That's the only thing I would say. And the other thing I was going to talk about actually, one more thing is, I love the font on the right. but I would vary it up maybe for the numbers in the top left. Use a slightly different font, maybe.
Make it more of a serif. So
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Okay. No, I like that.
Just so that
And,
one pops.
And I plan on switching out the picture on the left every week.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So it's just like you can obviously see who I was inspired by.
Who?
Oh, I thought it really looked like Brick and Pieces.
No, I didn't get that at all.
All right. Then I guess I did a good enough job making it my own.
Yeah, no, I like it. That's the only thing is that I would say that if I was looking at that without any prior knowledge, I would think it was about like physics and stuff and the Big Bang.
Should the title be a different font, do you think? Or of the episode title in white?
What do you reckon, Sam?
I
think it works for the title of the series. I don't know if it works for the number and the title of that episode. I think maybe they should be different. Personally, that's. I think you need a font, maybe not a serif font, but one that has that flick on the top of the one.
Yeah, and I think most serifs would have that.
Yeah. But even if it's a sans serif font, if it still has that little flick, maybe not the tail.
Yeah, because I'm seeing most of the serifs are like kind of thin.
That's the problem.
Yeah, when I'm kind of thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm hoping that wasn't like a knock. I was just giving you my feedback on it.
No, that's exactly what I wanted.
I still love that picture though. I can't believe that was done in camera.
Yeah, we had so much. There's another one I should share it sometime where she did a burst mode, so you can almost make a GIF out of it.
That's
of
cool.
The bricks flying. So I think we're gonna redo it and do something a little bit different location.
So my first big observation about the Millennium Falcon set is it says open bag 1. There are 6 bag 1s.
Yeah, that happens a lot with the larger sets.
I'm like, make up your mind.
What I hate is when you get a larger set, not on that scale, but you have one, and it has like a separate white box within the box that has some bags in there. Now, with the Home Alone set, the first lot of bags were on top, and then the second half was in the box. That was fine. But I've had some where you've had like one outside, and then number 3 or number 2 is in the box. They're not in any particular order. So you have to open both boxes, tip them all out, and then sort of reorder the bags. Then
Yeah, and I bet you there's some manufacturing purpose for that.
Probably, yeah.
But there it was discussed in a meeting, and the manufacturing engineers sitting there like, look, we'll save like $10 per box if we do it this way. It'll piss everyone off, but it'll save us a lot of money. And everyone's like, yeah, whatever, Steve, we'll do it.
Oh, that's Steve. When will he ever learn?
Like,
I mean, if I ever make it into the land, those are definitely questions I'm going to be asking because I'm just.
I think you're dead right though. I think it might be something to do with like the manufacturing. Someone said before, do you know how Lego bags? There's 2 types of numbers. You have the one where they're clear bags with, I think it's like black with like a white stroke around it, and then other times the bag has like a white stripe with just plain black numbers on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, it's because they're made from 2 different factories.
And that's entirely possible.
So,
and it would be something like that, like the box, the parts that are in the box were made in one factory, and then they box that up and send it off to the other factory where it gets put together with the other things.
Yeah.
that
makes sense, sir. Yeah, I like that.
Love it.
Yeah, that's much better.
So, Joe,
See that, guys? Millennium Falcon, right there, bitches. That's right.
I think I see the cockpit.
Yeah. So, there you go, Sam.
So, as a fellow electrical engineer, Joe, do you remember Smith charts?
Smith charts?
Yeah, For
Do you mean say that again?
for impedance matching.
Yes.
So I was designing a logo to make a wormhole, and I realized I just made a Smith chart.
Why would you do that?
It just creeped out of the
It
subconscious.
just happened.
So
Okay.
So guys, I gotta head off to work. But yeah, if you guys are free tomorrow, noon Mountain Time, 7 UK.
Let's give you the floor space.
Oh, there we go. But yeah,
Oh
tomorrow.
God!
There we go. Perfect. But yeah, tomorrow noon Mountain Time, 7 p.m. UK time, going to be doing box 2 of the Titanic. So it's probably going to last about 5 hours. So I'll be there for a while.
Cool.
Okay.
But yeah, so thank you for having me on. It's been great as always.
No, it's a pleasure to have you, Space Time. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and I'll see you guys
Yeah.
later.
Okay, we'll see you.
tomorrow.
Bye.
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 And then there were the 3.
Oh dear Lord.
Now what's gonna happen?
I don't know. I'm worried. I'm scared.
Oh,
Joe,
dear.
you are the sole American left alone with a Welshman and an Englishman.
And I'm a terrible representation of my country because I think of other people's feelings.
Oh, I like you, Joe.
I like me too.
You can see why I like Joe too.
Yeah. No, I like hanging out with you guys. It's fun. Hanging out with my 4.5-year-old son is fun, but then you start gaining the madness. Oh boy.
Yeah, I am looking forward to when I can just chill out with my kids, but I'm not looking forward to much to when they become 13 years old and tell me they wish I was dead.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I was never that much of a rebel to my parents.
No. I remember
I
the
don't think I
odd
would.
couple of arguments, but I never remember really clashing with them that much. I just remember just like
I remember thinking that a lot.
Okay, all right.
Because you know, when you, like you say, Craig, when you used to have the, like a big argument, or they tell you to do something, or and you go, no, I'm never doing that, or whatever, and you sort of think it, but you never say it.
I don't know. Like I had a couple of big arguments. I can't even remember what they were about, but I remember there being couple of big arguments, but not as many as I've heard or even witnessed my friends having with their parents.
Oh yeah.
And I think that the only times that the sentiment I had when I was a teenager is just being embarrassed by my parents. And now I look at the stuff that I was embarrassed by, and I feel like, dude, you should be embarrassed because you're the weird one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like, teenagers take themselves too seriously. I think one of the most liberating things as you get older is when you don't take yourself so seriously. If you can laugh at yourself, then, But, yeah, if I could go back to my teenage years and say anything, I would just be like, dude, come on.
Get a grip.
Just
Don't
lighten up a
don't
little
take
bit.
it all too seriously. This is probably going to be some of the best years of your life. It's all downhill from here, mate.
I know, right?
Enjoy it while you can,
Oh, dude, you'll never be able to run that fast.
The only time you get that speed is if you tuck your legs behind your ears and roll down the hill.
Yeah. Or in my country, I should have been, go back in time and be like, hey, dude, you're white and middle class. You can get away with anything. Just go steal something. Just go steal something. Anything. Just go do something.
What is space time on about, by the way?
What do you mean?
I know. This is what I'm just like today.
Space time's just messaged us saying Stream is on Monday, not Sunday. I thought today was Sunday for some reason.
It is
Today is Sunday.
Today's Sunday. Love that guy.
Apparently, by the way, I can't send messages in Spacetime server.
Can you not?
It says no. It says I gotta verify my identity first. But
Oh, he's also changed a load of it.
But
Yeah.
I thought the whole point was we don't want to verify your identity.
Because he's got rid of the live stream tab.
yeah. Apparently, I can only view it. I have to enter a mobile phone number in there and verify that way. Which I'm not
Oh.
overly keen on the idea of Discord having my phone number.
No, they're going to
I
sell
know
it to
everything
Spacetime.
already.
So anyway, Joe, I was saying we need to get you on Discord because there's a Bricks in Space Discord where people talk about phallic-shaped objects like rockets. Look at that.
Like those?
Yeah,
Like those?
yeah, like those.
Oh.
Hang on a sec.
What? Hey, dude.
What's he
Either
doing?
tonight or tomorrow, I'm releasing version 5 of the LUT.
Are you really?
Yeah. Uh-oh. What's going on?
See, this is it. The Bricks in Space Discord. We talk about there's a whole thread about what's going on in space today,
Okay.
which you can then click and watch videos and all that sort of cool stuff.
Oh, I see that one. There's a handsome bearded chap down there as well.
No, there isn't. You must be mistaken.
Yeah. I see the beard. It's the other.
There's lots of stuff about mocks and how to make cool stuff and
He's not even
showing
looking,
off
mate.
people cool stuff.
You're putting this on for Joe's benefit, and he's turned away from the screen.
I know.
Oh, someone's
all the
doing the
cool people are
N1.
in here, Joe. So Sam Bradford is in here. I'm in there.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So you're safe.
Yeah, you're safe. Muscovite Sandwich is in there as well.
Oh, Sam Schuker.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos is in there?
It says it there. Jeff Bezos. I don't think it's Jeff Bezos, but he's there.
Oh, look, is that Elon Musk?
Sorry,
This is where they get
honestly-
all their ideas from for rockets. They come and sit
There's
here and
also a
chat to us
dinosaur. I
Lego
saw
people.
Raptor on there as well.
Pardon?
I saw Raptor on there. I didn't know you allowed dinosaurs on Discord.
You know, all the cool people are there.
I think you should look at that other guy's Discord server. That's a pretty cool Discord server.
Well, you see, the problem with that is Joe wouldn't be able to join that Discord server.
Well, he could for the low price of 99 cents per month.
He could indeed, Frank, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
Okay, I enjoy talking to you, Craggle, and I do wholeheartedly love talking to you, but I ain't paying money for that.
So, you mean this one?
That's the one.
That's
Oh,
your
no.
server?
That's the mock thread.
Yeah.
How did that happen? There are many things in here. Batmobiles. And, oh no, a blue streak.
Oh no!
Oh, and Joe,
I think my wife has one of those underneath the bed.
Is it that toy lightsaber, mate?
What are you talking about? It's a neck massager, isn't it?
Yeah.
What you should really try is it has a secondary purpose as a tongue massager, Craggle. You should go ahead and just
Oh, I wish he was full screen then. I would so would have clipped that and turned it into a GIF.
Joe, one more time.
Well, if you get famous on Lego Masters, I'm so leaking that.
Oh no! It turns out one of our bearded white men here on Lego Masters is an immature man-child. He's a 39-year-old teenager. What was that?
Jacob says, I felt I owed it to Crackle to become a Crackle's Club member. You didn't owe it to me. It's just if you want to become part of the larger Crackle community and want to show your support, you also get a bunch of perks, not just a Discord server. There's other stuff as well, members-only live streams, custom emojis. There will be a vlog series. I've got some stuff I need to actually edit. I'm going to do like a bumper one, I think, for the last part of this year, and then hopefully go back to doing monthly starting in January 2021.
So I need to ask, like, how famous are you as a Lego person? Like,
not at all.
Okay. Like,
well, that's not true.
I mean,
people know of you.
Yeah.
Because I've mentioned your name in Lego stores before, and people go, "Oh yeah, I watch your stuff, yeah."
I don't know. Like, I feel like I was more famous than I am now. Like, my content is definitely the views have massively dropped this last year or so.
Oh really?
But I feel like part of that is the fact that I've been inconsistent. But also, I've noticed like that my old sort of like faithful audience is kind of like, I don't know, maybe they've grown out of it or maybe they've gone to other stuff or whatever, but I'm kind of going through a transitional period where I'm trying to like find my new audience and also get more consistent with it. But I don't know. I almost was better before I put more of my personality into my content. I think once people realized who I really was, that's when I failed.
Once people knew the true you.
Yeah, don't be yourself. That's the lesson here.
Whereas when you started putting personality into your videos and people realizing who you were, that's when I got on board and I actually like that person.
I say that jokingly, but in all fairness, I actually watched a couple of my older videos the other day just to reference something. I wasn't sure if I said it or not. And I was surprised at actually how much of my personality was into my older videos. So maybe it's just something that I've made up that I only started putting myself into videos more in the last 18 months or so. Because I watched a video that was like one of my third or fourth videos, and I said that if you haven't watched Lego Movie 1 by now, you need to go sort your life out and stuff like that, you know. So I think I've always had that cheeky kind of sense of humor, you know, where I'm kind of laughing along with you, but also insulting you at the same time.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
Well, and that, I mean, from an American's perspective, that is a very British Isles thing.
Yeah.
It's fitting.
I was saying before, and I think Space-Time didn't agree with this, but I've also said that I feel like self-deprecating humor is more British than American.
I would kind of agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've done jokes before, and I've been talking to other Americans on streams, who perhaps don't know me well, and they've not got that I've making a joke of myself, and then they've tried to make the joke, and it's like, yeah, it's already been made. I took a mick out myself.
It's already been done. You're late to the party.
Give you example. I didn't make up this joke. I got it from a film called Alpha Papa, but they were talking with me about COVID and stuff about you can't do handshakes anymore, and I said, yeah, I heard that instead of handshakes, everyone's going to start fist pumping. Apparently, it's more hygienic, but who says you can't get shit on your fist? And then there's a long pause, and two people kind of laughing. And I just realised then, and this one guy went, "Wait, shit on your fist? Oh, I don't want to know what you've been doing with your fist, mate. Do you realise what you just said? You just insinuated that you put your fist up a guy's ass." I'm like,
we need to talk to Mrs. Craggle about something.
It was like that was the joke, mate. That was
yeah. I gotcha. Oh, that's
dear.
great. I like this. Lego is consistent, but like they spend an entire page like on half a dozen parts. Or this one, four parts on this whole page.
Yeah, but
Wow.
can you see where all 4 of those parts are?
And
No,
look at
'cause
the
they don't
size of the
highlight
page as
them.
well. Like, it's not even a small page, is it?
No, it's huge.
That's what she said.
Good night, everybody. Try the shrimp. We'll be here all week.
Joe, that's what I found with the instructions I was using the other day because I got the Technic Ferrari.
Okay.
Nothing was highlighted. And I was sitting there going, hang on a second, why do I do this? Why do I go through the hassle of highlighting if Lego can't be bothered?
If Lego can't even be bothered. Yeah. Well,
And-
thankfully, Studio does it for you.
They
Studio
used to
does-
do stuff like that, though. I swear they used to. When it was like, the same color bricks being put on top of them, they used to do like a stroke or a glow effect around the new pieces.
Uh-huh.
They don't do anymore.
I
And
don't get it.
It's when you're trying to like put like the same dark colors on top of each other. It's so ridiculous. It's like you're no longer following instructions. What you're actually doing is spot the difference game.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, looking at that picture and looking at this picture and going, what's new? What's different? You know?
Yep.
Right, on that page,
Oh my
there
word.
is a 1x7 Technic lift arm that you've got to put on there. Okay? You look at that and go, where the hell am I putting it?
Yeah,
Where
why
you're
can they?
actually putting it is down here, and here, right at the freaking end.
Like, what
You've
can
got
they put a glow effect around that, or put an arrow or something?
It's not
center
that
the
hard.
image. You're like, center the image. You don't need to see the rest of the model. I know the rest of the model exists. I've got it in front of me. Just show me where I'm meant to be putting these 2 pieces.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
I can understand, like I said, in the Discord thread I put a post on, just there, like, I can understand why I'm such a pain in the ass about this now, because having seen these and compared it to what Joe's given me and what I've produced, you sit there and go, my word.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. When I was giving you feedback about the instructions, and there were some pieces where I said, I could do with like a stroke around this piece because it's hard to see on there. I understood, like, that Lego, for some reason, don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I was glad that you did. It's like almost like just because Lego don't do it doesn't mean that you have to resort to their standard.
I know. Hey,
We're better
so
than that.
Sam,
Yes.
if I send that link you sent me, if I send that to someone else, does that mean they can just watch, or is that gonna?
That means they can come in here and join.
Okay. So if I just want to send a link to someone that they
I will send it over to you now
on Messenger,
on Messenger.
great. I think my buddy Cameron wanted to stop in and see the craziness that happens. I'm like, you don't need to, but
Are we going, just to get an idea, are we going to 3 hours and calling it there, or how long do you reckon we're going to go on for now?
Might as well go to 3.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a nice round number.
Yeah, give Joe a bit of airtime. Seeing as he was late to the
seeing as
party.
we're not trying to accomplish anything in particular, it's just it's a Sunday afternoon, or sorry, Sunday night for you guys.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm all out of sorts at the moment, though. In between, like, the combination of being ill makes you sleeping irregular anyway. It makes you tired in the
Yes.
day, but also my shifts on my work, my day job has just been all over the place. And then next week, I don't have a single shift that's the same time.
Oh no.
So I'm going to be all over the shop. I was hoping to have a video ready for Monday, but it might be actually that I take a 2-week break and I come back not next week, the week after, I think. Which is disappointing to myself, but at the end of the day, I got to put myself first, and I'm still not well. And
Oh yeah,
I've got to do my day job as well. So
You
So that
gotta
was going to
keep
be
it.
my other question: is you do something else besides Lego content provider, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't
That's a
think
very
there are
polite
any of
way of
us.
putting it.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who is a full-time Legoist except for maybe Scott, but he's retired.
He's retired.
I know a
Yeah.
couple of full-time YouTubers. One
Okay.
is just Lego. One has a vlogging and a Lego channel. I think the vlogging is the one that is the main breadwinner. But yeah, and I know quite a few of the big, what I would call the big Lego YouTubers, and only 2 of them I know do it full time without any other. Oh, 3.
Oh.
3 of them I know actually that do it full time without any other income. So
Yeah.
I think as much as we love Lego, and obviously to us the community is vast, it
Right.
is still very much a kind of more of a niche thing
Yeah.
compared to some other fandoms and communities that are on YouTube.
Well, again, I'm my thing is entirely propulsive phallic symbols, and like
I know. And then you
Like,
say that you don't like minifigures either, so
I don't like minifigures, and like if you really talk to me, it's like, oh, it's not Lego with you. It's just something to build with, and like, yeah, that's sorry.
yeah, it goes. But these are toys. I know how I'm using it. This is an interconnected, highly sophisticated brick system.
Yes.
Oh,
But I think
okay.
that's why I like Lego because I loved Lego when I was a kid.
And I've got this sitting on my shelf, just like right behind me, ready to go.
Oh my god, no!
Put that away.
Put that
Put it away.
But
Whatever. Your name is Craggle. Come on.
Yeah. Cut the Craggle.
Oh.
The penny drops. But yeah, because I briefly got into. Do you have Warhammer over there in the States?
Yes, I do. One of my other brother-in-laws is hard into Warhammer. He is.
See, I never got really into Warhammer. One of my best friends was massively into it, and I used to go with him. We used to go to like shopping, I'd go into the Games Workshop with him. But when they did Lord of the Rings, I got into that side of it. And I used to not so much playing the game, but creating these dioramas, these scenes with the models and stuff. And I think that that if you're into that kind of thing with Lego, there's a common sort of DNA between them.
Yes.
I'm not into model trains and stuff, but I'll watch Brickstar's Trains Are Fun content, and I've always said that if I have a Lego city, I want there to be a train looping around, I will look at it. I won't collect them, but I will go and I remember in this museum that my missus was working at, they had this model railway that went through a recreation of the entire village, and I used to watch that so intently. I know, I just thought it was amazing, this little world that they built up there,
And every time I see someone who does like a giant crane or something, some of these Technic builders are like, I could so get into that.
Yeah.
But I just concentrated on phallic symbols right now.
But I do feel like there's a strong DNA that you're kind of all interconnected, especially with the adult side of Lego. Do you know what I mean? For me, I've always said, I've got the Creator Expert Actor one, I've got the UCS Batmobile. For me, I prefer mainly getting minifig scale buildings and stuff, because my idea is that I want to have one day a Lego city, and I like the idea of having this little minifig scale world that these characters inhabit, So I guess it is kind of like an extension of model making in that regard.
It really is. And what was I going to say? Yeah, when someone says, "Well, what's your next thing? Are you going to make a minifig scale Skylab?" And I just go, that doesn't make any sense to me, because my whole thing is I make things to scale, and minifigs aren't to any scale.
It's true. There is. I mean, the whole thing of minifig scale isn't really a scale. It's whatever looks right to the eye.
Yeah,
it's kind of a.
It's a very subjective thing, isn't it? It's an artistic thing as opposed to.
That's how the Stargate came about to be minifig scale. It looked at it and went, that actually works.
Yeah, we didn't really intend for it to be minifig scale. I think I mentioned to you that if you did it, I would design some minifigs, but we had the idea of it almost being like a UCS setup where they would just be on the side on a stand. And then as it came about,
I like that kind of thing.
Yeah. And then as it came about, I was like, this looks minifig scale, Sam. And you were like, yeah, it does. Apart from it
And
has
we put some
two
minifigs on it, and we went, yeah, that actually really worked.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, Sam, my next thing is going to be the Skylab shuttle rescue mission.
Oh, Skylab Boost.
Skylab Boost, yeah.
You mean the one you started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6, 7 months ago with the laying of the Unikitty brick?
Okay. Hold on. Hey, can you hear me? Sam? Shut the fuck up.
What was this about? A Unikitty brick? Isn't
It's
that
like-
neck attachment one? Is it?
It's a running gag in a lot of my builds. I've put a Princess Unikitty brick in a lot of my designs.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's like the most opposite thing that I could think of to put inside, like these pillars of industry and science and manliness, and I'm just like, yeah, let's put a pink Unikitty brick in there. Yeah. So in my Skylab, in my LUTs, I have a Princess Unikitty brick just in there.
See, one. I think. Do you know the Jurassic Park gate set? Have you seen that one? The big one they did.
Yes, yeah.
Like
I have.
Honestly, the T-Rex, the brick built T-Rex, I didn't like because I liked the preformed dinosaur figures they've done. I love the
Okay.
gates, but one thing I did like in the build of that brick built T-Rex is they actually put a frog in his throat. Easter egg.
Brilliant.
There is a frog in his throat.
Okay. And see, unless I'm in a really big hurry, like I always try to put like some kind of Easter egg in my builds. I think I neglected to do that with the Delta 4 and the Delta 2. Maybe I respect them too much. I don't know.
No, you did do it in Delta 2.
What did I do in the Delta 2?
You put the Unikitty brick in.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you sent me that version of the instruction, and I went, I'm gonna skip this. I'm just gonna get a regular 1x3 brick and just do this because this is like.
And then it exploded.
No, yeah, I'm sure the instructions you sent me for Delta 2 definitely had
A Unikitty?
definitely had a Unikitty in.
And oh man, I'm really sounding like I'm stuffy now.
I gotta say though, Sam, I respect you as a mock builder, but that looks nothing like the Ghostbuster symbol behind you.
Craggle, can you hear me? Shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Uh-oh. Watch out, kids.
Language.
Language.
You
You
never
know
catch
it's not
me
meant
saying
to be that.
anything adult orientated on this live stream.
What was that?
You wouldn't catch me saying anything adult orientated on this live stream.
Oh no.
No.
That would
I think
be-
the first thing I did when I came on here was remind Sam to put that banner down the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, maybe you didn't.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Craggle is probably one of the most common questions I get on my LUT is someone will just send me an email that says, "Hey, is this pink brick necessary? Like, is this an accident?" And I'm like, "No, that is a brick that is structurally important. That's a load-bearing brick right there. You can't just get rid of it."
I remember you said you get people emailing you saying, "So when is this going to ship?"
Oh, yeah. So this right here, this is the smallest thing at my store. It's the Perseverance rover and Ingenuity.
Okay.
And I guess it's small enough that people are like, "Oh, it's a kit. You can't get a kit for that for $5." No.
way.
But yeah, that's the thing that's like, "Hey, when are you gonna send this?" And I'm like,
I
I
think
have
I probably
one
told. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
No, you go, mate.
I was gonna say, I think I've probably told this story before, but I was in the Lego store once when they had, like the glued models they have, like of like characters. They had one of BB-8s, and it was kind of like, I would say, up to knee height. And someone bought the UCS BB-8 set, and then they came back and were like, "That is nowhere near the size of this one." It's like, what, you thought you were building? Like, look at the box that you're holding. How did you think that was going to contain enough parts to make that? And also look at how much you paid for it.
Yeah.
Plus, the picture on the box looks completely different, but people are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an email the other day from someone on Etsy that said, so how does this work buying your instructions? And I was like, when you click buy, and then Etsy will email you a file, and you'll also get the opportunity to download the file, to which then you can download the rest of the files. And they went, okay, can you not just email me that file now? No, you have to buy it. Here's my email address. Just email me the file. no, mate, you're not.
Well, they wanted it for free.
Yeah, I assume he was wanting it for free, or he just wanted me to email him directly the file. I was there going, no, it's not happening, pal. And then I looked at his name, and it said China. I was thinking, maybe.
Oh no! You know what, bud? Yeah, there was a guy who kept messaging me and emailing me and being like, so if I can't download it, you'll email it to me? And I said, yes, of course. If you have a problem, I can email it to you. Yes.
Yeah.
He just kept asking question after question along those same lines. And I was like, you keep asking the same question. Like, are you running from your government or something? And yeah, he was from China. So I'm like, oh, he probably is literally trying to get around some kind of firewall in his country or something.
It could be wanting to sell bootlegs because that, like, not just Leppin but other ones are known for taking fan mock designs and making them into sets and basically selling them in their cheap plastic bricks.
Venado bricks or whatever it is.
There's a few out there that they just completely ripped off fan designers' creations and not giving them a penny.
Yep,
that's a good point. Actually, I'm gonna go just head over to Venado's website and just make sure that nothing of ours is.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna head over to something else.
Yeah.
Remember to turn the sound down, Craggle.
No, I was just checking up on the whole.
I can buy an LUT.
On the whole.
I can buy an LUT from Venado Bricks for $311.
Okay. So some nitwit, and I will use the word nitwit, kept yelling at me like, "What do you mean it'll cost $2,000 to build yours? I can get this one from Venado for like $150, bro." And I'm like, okay, go ahead and buy it. My instructions aren't going to do anything for you. It was the most inane argument I've ever gotten into.
Have you seen the other thing, Sam? The latest updates on it?
No.
There's nothing that we need to worry about. It's just odd. Just further evidence of how odd this person is.
Okay. Lego.
Oh, that person?
Yeah. Like, nothing we need to worry about. Don't worry. Like, they haven't followed through with that threat, but...
Well, it's all right. There's a trigger button. It's called deploy Mrs.
You're
Craggle.
talking about the person who wants your intellectual property?
Well, it's not really my intellectual property, but I guess, yeah. Basically, yeah.
They want Craggle's hard work.
Yeah.
But like I said to you, even if you boil down everything else, you put it down to its absolute core, it comes down to someone seeing that I have made something for one designer and them wanting to ask me to give it to a different designer. I mean, at the very basic, that's just impolite and rude,
Yeah.
It's entitled.
Yeah,
And I hate.
I hate using that term, but yeah,
I do too. I hate people who overuse the term entitled, but that's
yeah, it is the definition of that. Oh, we're coming up to the 3-hour mark, Sam.
Yeah, but I've still got 40 seconds. What is this I'm looking at?
I don't know. But also, why would you even bother to do an update? I get that update at 7,500, but then do one at 7,777. I feel like that's just scraping the bottom of the barrel there. That's just, look at me, please look at me. Look at me.
you didn't see me
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, well, anyway, on that note, because that just looks ridiculous. That's it. We're going to call it a day there. That's 3 hours now. Joe?
Sorry for showing up so late.
Well, let me give you the floor first, mate.
Bye.
And press the Joe button.
Yeah. You can get my amazingly well crafted exploding phallic symbols. I mean, space history, rocket designs on my Etsy page, Skylab Bricks. You can see me update my stuff on Facebook occasionally. I'm actually going to start putting things on Rebrickable. We'll see. And we'll see if I'm going to be on Lego Masters this coming year. So, yay!
Yay! Thanks,
Yeah.
Joe.
Thank you.
Craggle,
Hello.
you have an allotted time of a minute to self-promote yourself. Go.
Well, at the moment, I can't say like what I've got coming up because I don't really have anything right now. I was hoping to have a couple of videos for the coming week, but nothing that is actually in a state where I'm confident that I'll be able to release it this week. So I'm tentatively going to say that next week, like not this Monday, but the Monday after, will be the return to usual broadcasting. But I do have a lot of fun stuff that we're working on. There's one project that is almost ready to be released into the wild that I worked on with you. I've also got something else, my long-awaited third custom CMF video, which has taken me a bit longer than I expected just because of illness, and I got distracted by other shiny things. And also, there's something else which I'm trying to get off the ground, which I posted on my Discord server. And if you've seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, then this might be very exciting. So hopefully I can make something come of that. And that is like so vague that probably no one but me will even know what I'm on about. There you have it. That's me. That's my promotion.
Oh, well done, mate. Thank you very much. You haven't. You should all go and basically become a member of Craggle and check out his Discord, because that's the only way you're going to find out what he's on about.
I do post a lot of teasers on there. I ask for feedback, and people get to have a say on like future content as well. We do competitions and stuff. We had a pizza party as well.
That was cool. That was
fun.
really cool. Because
the pizza we had that day was gorgeous. Mrs. Craggle made like homemade pizza, and it was delicious. And also, your missus made homemade pizza as well, didn't it?
Yeah, she slaved away over that dough. Oh, mate.
I don't think we can call her the missus yet.
Well, there's also a term in Wales we say Mrs., which is MISSUS, which is Mrs. is just like girlfriend or
okay, all right.
Something, so
Mrs.
Yeah,
I love it. All right,
but yes, no, thank you everybody. Thank you for joining us.
I need to get out of here before I start attempting British accents.
You know, Jacob, Mrs. Craggle, Lady Sam, Cajun Yeti, whoever else joined us.
We had space time for a little bit.
Space time as well, yes.
Space time for a little bit, yeah.
Thank you all for coming on, and we will see you all again, maybe next week. Yeah, next week. I'm not working next weekend. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still were going to talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife next week. So, Joe,
Should I go see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Make that your task this week.
Okay. How many out of stars do you give it?
I would give it a high 4.6 out of 5 stars.
So 4 out of stars. Okay.
It's very good.
Okay, great.
Right. With that and Joe's mission to go see Ghostbusters Afterlife, we will see you all next week.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.